Hey everyone, hope you're all doing okay. I'm a little wonky today, so I apologize if I'm not coming into stream with my normal, bombastic energy that I usually have. It's not even that I'm really tired. I am tired. It's just there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. And, we'll talk about it. But also, hi Leah. It's good to see you. We're gonna run through our announcements really quickly. Just real quick. There's not a lot to talk about. It's API Heritage Month, Asian American, Pacific Islander Heritage Month. To those who fall under this label, I hope that you have a fantastic Heritage Month. I bumped up all of the links to support Asian American people as well as general Asian people in the links for important links for the month of May. All the other links to everything. Oh, I saw that for like 2 seconds. Why does it always do that? It's always on the announcements too. I bumped up everything that I talk about, all the important stuff that I'm talking about, that is featured here in the description under important links for the month of May. So if anything on here you want to know more about, then go check out those links. I highly suggest you do. I've talked about them numerous times in the past. All the information you may need is down there, but if there are additional links that you want to provide or are something I'm missing, please feel free to let me know. News pertaining to Palestine. I believe there was mention at one point that I read that they've officially run out of food. As far as I understand, there have been blockades from the IOF, the IDF, IOF, same thing, preventing humanitarian aid getting in there like there was before, and organizations that have come through, numerous organizations and charities and such that have been providing aid to Gazans at this time are not able to get in to provide more food and have officially run out as far as I understand. Gaza Kitchen, I believe, is a good organization to look into. They are accredited, they are trusted, they provide aid and resources pertaining to food, as far as I understand, the organization does, to Gazans. That is their main goal. I don't have the link down below, unfortunately, because my just paste it isn't allowing me to edit the specific link I have for Palestinians for some reason. I don't know why. I guess it just thinks that I'm not the original creator of that anymore. Lovely. Or that enough time has passed, it just lost the fact that I was the original creator, but whatever. In any case, I suggest you look into it. Also, I posted a link in my community posts about a itch.io bundle that ends in 16 days. It's called Crips for eSIMs for Gaza bundle, to provide eSIMs to Gazans who need them, that use it to communicate outside of Gaza, outside of Palestine. There are over 237 games from over 170 developers. Just a one-time fee of $16. Already they have raised $44,000. I bought the bundle on the day it came out, I believe. The day it came out, which was this past Monday. I highly suggest you do so. There's a lot of good games and zines and tabletop roleplay games on there as well. All sorts of different games or anything really. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there that I highly suggest that you pitch in, buy. You get a whole bunch of cool stuff, all for $16, and it goes toward a good cause. I will probably be playing some of the games that were provided on here at some point, as I have done in the past, with bundles supporting Palestine. Also go to, there are links down below to buy eSIMs for Palestinians. If you don't want to go the direct route, there are instructions on the site that will teach you how to get the eSIM and send it off to the right place so that you aren't accidentally, what is the word I'm looking for? Unlocking it for yourself. You understand what I mean. I'm losing track of my words today. There's also GazaFunds.com. It is an accredited site where if you refresh it every single time a new GoFundMe for a Palestinian family or individual Palestinian will pop up that you can donate to. They are vetted as far as I understand. I highly suggest you just do that in general. Donate to individual GoFundMes through GazaFunds.com, as well as donate to trusted charities like the one I mentioned, Gaza Kitchen or Gaza's Kitchen. I'm not sure if it's Gaza's Kitchen or Gaza Kitchen, but I'm pretty sure it's Gaza Kitchen from what I remember. As well as like the PCRF or MAP, which we have worked with in the past. MAP, I mean, not PCRF. PCRF is Palestinian Children's Relief Fund, and MAP is Medical Aid for Palestinians. But yes, I believe that is everything I have for you guys in terms of the news today. It's very short, very sweet. If I'm missing anything, please feel free to let me know. I have a tendency to forget stuff, so yeah. I'm gonna put on the music, and we're gonna swap the screen. Hi, there I am. Sorry I've streamed, I mentioned this last stream. Sorry I've streamed like blips out occasionally. My internet is still wonky, it's still not loading properly. I've closed what I believe is the main site that causes these blips, but like, I don't know what's causing it, and I still don't know what's causing it. No, it's not the internet, it's not our service provider, it's something on my computer. Anyway, hi. Hope you guys are doing alright. I tried to make it through the news quick today because, or the announcements today, which I always appreciate you guys listening whenever I bring up the news and our announcements. I'm sorry it was a lot shorter, I promise. Like, I do care. It's not that I don't. It's just I wanted to get through it. Because I just wanted to chat today. It's I'm trying to relax today. Lately, it's just been a lot. I think you guys saw my community post. Today's stream was supposed to be episode 3 of Life is Strange. I was so ready. Maddie! Hey, I'm not okay either, and that's okay. We can't be perfect and happy all the time. I know. Thank you. Hi, Maddie. Oh my god, it's been a hot minute. Holy cow. I have some pretty big news to drop on you guys, actually, which is why I'm not doing the greatest, is, guess this is the thing we're kicking off stream with, is, I'm quitting my job. Circumstances have led me to want to quit my job, which I'm not happy about. The fact that I have to quit my job. I do love it. I like the kids that I work with. They're great kids. It's not an issue with the kids. Before anybody makes any assumptions, no, it has nothing to do with the kids that I work with. They are great. They are wonderful. It is nothing to do with them why I'm quitting my job. It is everything else to do with my job that I have to quit. Sorry to hear that. That sucks. Yeah. Wednesday was the tipping point for me. Oh, that's nuts. I'm sorry. I know. Wednesday was the tipping point. God, I don't want to cry again. I cried on Wednesday on my way home from work. I broke down on my way home from work. I came home a mess, and my parents were like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" And like, no, I'm not okay. Really, truly, I'm not. it just came crashing down on me on that one moment, and I took Thursday off of work. I called out sick. I was worried they were gonna have me come in anyway because we're so short-staffed. There's been a lot of people quitting. Some pretty long-term members of my job have been quitting, of pretty high positions too. We had a psychiatrist actually quit not that long ago. A couple coworkers. One I just was like surprised by. Oh, quit. Hope things get better for you, of course. I'm not good at consoling people. Hey, it's okay. I work things out by talking about it, so like I'll be fine. But the tipping point, I'm not gonna go super in depth about what I do. I've been very vague about my job in specific. I just say I work with kids. I'm not gonna go into specifics even now that I am quitting. I'm not quitting right away. I'm putting in my notice at the end of the month. I'm staying on until the summer, and then I'm quitting. But I'm staying with them until like summer, and then I'm quitting. But Wednesday, it just kind of broke me because my coworker, it's just the two of us in this little area we work in with like 20-something kids, which already in itself isn't one of the issues that I have. Is it's just the fucking two of us with 20-something, almost 30 kids, which is not good, by the way. Most of my other coworkers who work in different areas for the same organization have 3 or 4 people working with over 20-30 kids in their specific area. It's just the two of us in our specific area with over 20 kids. So most of the time it's just me and him, and it really sucks because it feels like most of the time I'm having to do a lot of work that should normally be for more than one person. And like I've not been in this place I've not even been in this job for that long. It's been like 8-9 months since I was hired, because I was hired in August. So also don't mind that stutter, that was my computer, not you guys. But the breaking point was one of the kids, she likes to hang out with me a lot. She forgot those little scooter things you guys remember you just sit on and you like use your feet to like steer it, move it or whatever. She forgot to put it away. And instead of gently reminding her to go put it away, my coworker said, "Oh, well then I guess you guys are getting it taken away for the week. You guys are getting it taken away for a week. Go put the scooters away. You're not getting them out for the week." And then everyone got mad at her because she forgot to put it away. And she was there with me, and she was like, "I just forgot. I didn't even know. I forgot to put it away. I'm sorry." And like, that broke me because I was like, what the fuck? That's not okay. Oh my god. Like, I'm getting emotional about it again. I shouldn't, but like, fuck. I just like understood in that moment because like I had been through that growing up, that specific scenario growing up where I forgot to put something away and the whole class would get punished for it. Or like I forgot to do something and then the class would get punished for it. And they would get mad at me. Or it would happen to somebody else that I knew in my class and everyone would get mad at them. Like that's just pitting the kids up against each other, especially when you name names. It's not good to do that. It's better to gently remind them like, "Oh, hey, can you go put like, it's one thing if it's like a bunch of blocks or dominoes that you forget to put away that the kids were like the kids were playing with them and they didn't put them away. That's one thing, right? Because that's a mess. And they should know better to clean up their messes like that. But if it's a fucking like scooter, like, oh my god, that's the littlest thing ever." Yeah, what a dick move. I would be fuming at that coworker. I was so fucking upset. I'm still upset about it. That sort of collective punishment in a school setting is unacceptable. Yeah. And That's a terrific way to teach kids that mistakes will get them in trouble and not actually be better about things. Yeah. And this is an issue with my coworker that I've known about for a while. And, well, this specific thing I didn't know that he was prone to doing. What I knew that he would do, which I also fucking hate, and I've hated it this whole time, is he gets the kids, if they don't clean something up within, like, we give them a 2-minute warning, and if they don't clean anything up in the 2 minutes, or they're slacking off and they don't do everything they're supposed to do and be in the area they're supposed to be in 2 minutes, they get a collective punishment of having to read for 10 to 15 minutes. And I fucking hate that. That pisses me the fuck off. It always has. Because that teaches the kids that reading is not fun, and that it's a punishment. Okay, like that. Fuck, sorry. I've always fucking hated that punishment. I've always fucking hated it. I love reading. That's my whole thing. I have a whole fuck ton of books in my room, and I've talked on numerous streams about books that I'm reading, and I love reading, and I just hate to see it used as like a weapon against the kids. Sorry. I hate it being used as a weapon. It's not fair. It's not nice. Like, there's other ways you can go about teaching the kids important lessons that will incentivize them to be better. There's better ways to do it, to be in gentler ways, too. I just hate the way he goes about it. And, like, I can't even really bring it up to him because he's, like, talking to a wall. We don't talk unless, like, it's about stuff to do with work. He only texts me if he's gonna be late or if he can't get something, he needs me to do something, or he needs me to let him in the building because he forgot his keys for the billionth time. Like, fuck. Hold on, I took my glasses off, sorry. That sort of punishment singles out the one kid and incentivizes the other kids to bully him, that sort of stuff. Oh yeah, we have a huge bullying problem in our little program. And I need to bring it up with my supervisor. It's bad. It's bad. Reading should never ever be a punishment. I love reading, and it always upsets me that reading is taught to be a bad thing. Books are magical and should be treated with respect and appreciation. Yeah. Yeah, it should. Like, I mean, I was bullied out of reading for years. Not by my teachers or anything, but by my peers, because I had a fucking stutter, and whenever I would read in class, they would make fun of my fucking stutter, so I just didn't want to read anymore after that, even to myself, because I was afraid that they would fucking, like, make fun of me, or whatever, call me a bookworm, and I was self-conscious of that, so it just fucking boils my blood. Yeah, and they'll complain, like, why don't the kids read these days? Yeah. It's a wonder why kids turn more to technology now than ever than to, like, things like books. You know, there's also another incident with my coworker in the books that pissed me the fuck off so much, and I think about it occasionally, and it just makes my blood boil, where it's like, there was this one little boy, he's like, he can't be more than, like, 6 or 7. We gave him the 2-minute warning, and he was trying to put away those little Jenga blocks that they like to play with to make little structures out of back then. They don't do it much now, but, because they're more obsessed with little magnet things than the dominoes or, like, the Jenga blocks. But he was having a hard time because he's so small, putting the Jenga blocks back up on the top shelf where they go, of the little cart that we have for the games. He was really struggling to put it there, and he gave like a 30-second warning for him to go put him away, and I was gonna go over to help him, and he was getting so frustrated and flustered that he started crying. And he like I said, he's really tiny, he's very small. And my coworker was like, we don't need to cry about that, we don't need to get upset about that, just put the thing away. And then, he eventually got it away, but then my coworker was like, you need to calm down, get a book, sit down, calm down. He's just, like, crying his little eyes out, because he's so scared of getting punished, and getting upset about it. And he goes to sit down, and he has this book. He can hardly read it because he's crying so hard. So I go over and I sit by him, and I'm trying to talk to him to calm him down. I'm like, hey, buddy, are you okay? You're not getting punished. It's okay. Like, I'm trying to be gentle with him. Because, like, oh my god, he's so upset and scared. And I'm just like, it's okay. Do you want me to talk? Do you want to talk to me? Or do you want me to give you space? And he can't get any words out. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to check in with you in a little bit. Okay? And I just leave him to go read for a bit, or try to read. He does calm down after a little while. My coworker does come in and talk to him after a while to, like, set the record straight or whatever, and he's fine. But I just think about that occasionally. I'm like, why did you still, like, punish him regardless? Like, that, it was the one thing that he was terrified about, and you still did that anyway. What the fuck? I had the exact same thing in school. I had see, I'm fucking up my words right now. Debilitating speech impediment, and it was nightmarish in public school. Yep. I still have it even now, and I struggle. It's gotten worse over the years. We don't need to cry about that. Fantastic way to teach kids to repress their emotions, to grow up miserable. Oh yeah, especially little boys. Oh yeah. Never give kids countdowns. It does not help. I've never seen it actually help kids, and it just screws them up. Oh yeah. I guess it's the only way that he's found that it makes the kids do anything, because they just won't do anything, I guess. But it's still, I hate it particularly because it does invoke a sense of anxiety. And also, if you don't do something within the time frame, or if somebody's slacking behind, the other kids get upset at that kid, and it's like, come on, if you don't do this, then we're gonna read. Like, that kind of shit. I've seen it so many fucking times. There was one time, actually, that it happened on accident. I was talking with this girl that likes to hang out with me. Same girl that, got blamed for the scooters. And we were just talking about a movie that I had watched growing up, and we were not keeping track of time. I didn't know what we were doing. My coworker didn't even announce that we were going outside, because that's what we were doing. We were going outside, and had everybody line up. And then one of the girls from the other room yells out, come on, you guys, if you don't get in here, you have a minute. If you don't get in here, then my coworker is gonna make us read. And she was like, oh, I didn't even know. I thought we were gonna do curriculum, which is the thing that we do, like, crafts and stuff with. Recently it's been games, but, and then she's like, no, we're going outside. Get in here. And I was like, oh. And then my coworker started counting down from 10. We were right behind him. She's like, I'm here. I didn't know that we were going outside. I didn't know it either. I didn't hear him, because normally I can hear him from the other room talking to the kids. But I didn't hear him, because I guess he just didn't say anything loud enough. I don't know. But I told her that if he gets, because she was worried about him getting angry at her. I was like, no, if he gets angry at you, then I'm going to tell him to his face that it was my fault. Because that's not your fault. That's my fault. That I distracted you. And that we were late getting out. That was my fault, not yours. He can get angry at me all he wants. Not you. Countdowns just cause stress. It enforces a time crunch that's barely enough time. Yeah. Your coworker seems to be on a power trip or something. He sounds truly insufferable. The worst part about it is that whole family, like him and his mom and his sister, all work at this job. And they've worked there for years. My coworker has been in this same place for 7 years. He just, I think, recently got into, like, being in charge of the place. Because there was somebody that was before him a couple of years back. So, like, 2-3 years ago, I think, from what I understand. But, yeah, I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it. And, like, I am an adult, and I can voice my concerns all I want. That, like, yeah, I know a lot of you are gonna be like, well, why did you just say something? Well, like I said, it's like talking to a fucking wall. He does not like talking to me. He likes to talk to everybody else, though. He seems so affable with everybody else but me. And, like, it's like, dude, I'm the person that you're gonna be working with for a long period of time. You'd better, like, make up your mind about how you feel about me. Either you fucking hate me, or you want to be my friend. I don't like indifference. I fucking hate it. Wow, that sucks. You seem infinitely more qualified to be working with kids than him. I haven't even been working with kids that long. I started working with kids last year, and I did it for a whole school year. This is only my second time working with kids, but in that time period, I don't want to gloat because this sounds stupid, but I have a lot more skills that I learned from someone who's been in the field probably longer than him, in the teaching field at least, for like 20-something years, I think. I'm still in contact with her, the woman that I worked with. She was a librarian. I worked alongside her for a school year. Kindest woman ever. I love her. She's given me infinite amounts of knowledge and patience, which very patient with me in teaching me all that I need to know when it comes to being patient with working with children, which is how I have the skill set that I do. Like, the place that I work with can teach me as much as they can about safety and CPR and what to do in situations where certain injuries occur and stuff like that, like first aid and all that. Those are also infinitely important skills, but just like, it takes a certain kind of person with a certain amount of patience to work with children in a empathetic, way, where you care about the kids, you love them, and you want to help them move along in life and not just seem like a glorified babysitter. Because this is what this fucking job is, essentially, is we are glorified babysitters for 3, 4, 5 hours out of the day. Maybe more if you're full-time. I'm just part-time, but there's a lot of people working with kids who just love the feeling of having control over a large group of people, and it's fucked up and wrong. I see it at my place of work as well. Yeah. Like, I mean, I already had to deal with a situation with the kids not too long ago at a different area over spring break, where they were coming to me about other coworkers of mine that I don't know particularly well, who were not being kind to them, who were being probably even worse than my coworker. I took notes about the what they were doing, what the kids told me was going on, and from my own observations. And those people fucking suck. There was a fucking woman at my place who runs one of the areas, and she was running this area over spring break. I witnessed this firsthand. There was this kid who was having a hard time with these little blocks, and there was another little boy with him, and he brought that woman over and was like, oh, he took my blocks, and was like, oh, but you have a whole bunch of blocks to play with, and he's like, well, I don't like that he took my blocks. And they were going back and forth for so long about it, and was like, well, why can't you just play with these blocks over here that other kids were playing with and left behind because they wanted to go play in a different area, like a gym-like area. And he was like, well, I don't want to take it apart. This belongs to so-and-so. And she's like, well, no, they don't belong to so-and-so anymore. They're going off to the gym. And he kept doing that over and over, and clearly he's upset because he just doesn't want to ruin something that someone else made, and like, that's perfectly fair. If that were me in that situation, I would have left it. Okay, you don't want to mess those up. That's fine. Why can't you pick up the other blocks from the bin that are right here? You know, like, I'm trying to problem solve with him so that he's not upset. You know what this woman did? She fucking picked up one of the blocks, the creations that one of the other kids had made that was left behind, and started pulling off pieces of it to give to him. And he was like, no, what are you doing? No, please don't do that. And she was like, fine. Then I guess you're not going to play with the blocks anymore. Put him away. And I was like, what the fuck? He wasn't doing anything. He was just upset at the fact that you were doing that in front of him. And she had the nerve to say, like, oh, you guys had these taken away before. I can take them away again. she took the toy from his hand and started dismantling it in front of him, and he got really upset. I was like, what the fuck? She wasn't even one of the people that my kids were complaining about. I was gobsmacked. My supervisor had just been there that day, too, to talk to me about the other coworkers, and then that happened. I was like, fuck. Really? God. I hate the type of parent who has kids but clearly never wanted to have kids and let them be babysit by other people or by tablets. Yeah. I mean, I understand the parents that need to have these kinds of services because they have work and they can't have someone look after their kids because they have to go in the office or they have to go a long distance. That I completely understand. Like, you can't control your work day. You know, those people are still there by dinner and they're still there hanging out with their kids and still actively in their kids' lives. They just have to have them, you know, for a period of the day, just have someone else look after them. That I get. It's those people that are like what you said that I don't like. Kind of a logic issue functioning by these poor kids. Jesus Christ, I know. I have that list still. Actually, where is that list? Sorry, I'm just bitching about work. I need to get this out. I'm just fucking being tormented. Here, I still have the list that I made from the what the kids were telling me. Okay. Okay, so one of the kids told me that she wasn't allowed to put her hair up despite the risk of her earrings getting ripped out. Was just told, like, nope, can't put your hair up. Even though she was like, I need to put my hair up or else my earrings are going to get ripped out. Because I guess they didn't have backings in them or whatever. And she was like, nope, can't put your hair up. One of the coworkers reportedly made all of the kids sit out for an entire period in the gym after playing like one round of a game. And then angrily told the child to sit down when the said child asked a question. One of the coworkers said that one of the kids told me that one of the coworkers told a child that she wanted to go home because of that kid. There was also a lot of gossiping going on. Reported that 2 children who were in the same group together from the same area, same place that they go to every day, were separated and then swapped out with a different kid. The kicker also was one time, apparently, one of the kids had something with peanut butter in it, and they can't have peanut butter because there's a lot of kids with allergies, nothing with nuts in it. So they had it taken away instead of just told to put it away with the rest of their stuff. And then that person who took it was seen eating it away from the kids. That kid's specific thing with peanut butter. I think it was a Reese's peanut butter cup. So still, either way. What else? Oh, yeah. There was, gossiping going on in front of a kid and, like, about said kid. And when the kid said, like, hey, I don't like you talking about me like that, they were like, oh, well, look at you putting your nose in where you're not wanted, or something like that. I was like, what the fuck? And so I told all of this to my supervisor, and hopefully my supervisor does something about it. I haven't heard back about it yet. That was back in April. I deal with some kids at my job where it's clear they do not give a single fuck about what their kid has been doing at our establishment for the past few hours, and it makes me sad to see. Yeah, I hate those kinds of people too. We have a couple of those parents, and I do not like them. Or we have the ones that appear nice, but are really shitty. We have one parent in specific that I fucking hate. That is exactly like that. She's very cordial with me. She once, like, her kid, I think, like, tripped and fell on his face. And she was like, that's what you get. I don't want any part of that. I'm going to the car. And he was crying. He was upset that he had done that. And she's like, well, you did that to yourself. I'm going to the car. Just walked off to the car. and left him there to cry. And he's like, I think in 4th or 5th grade, but still. I hate people who just abuse kids just because they have the power to do so. Yeah, I fucking hate those people too. And that's also a factor in why I'm leaving this job. I can't fucking stand half of these people that I work with anymore. They're just obnoxious. They're awful. It's not even just my coworkers. It's most of the people that I work with. There's some that are really nice. They're really good to the kids. And they are very enthusiastic about what they do. Very clearly love what they do. It's just the few that I just can't fucking stand and I can't do this. And it's usually the people that have been there for, like, almost a decade. When I was a little kid, people, like, talked about me in front of me all the time, and it was very demoralizing. Yep. That didn't happen with me, thankfully, but I was very much like a kid who was bullied a lot, and all of my tormentors were let off without a hitch. The principals would do nothing. The recess teachers would do nothing. I tried to report one of the kids one time about numerous incidents that happened to me throughout the week. Once, I tried to talk about something that happened on a Monday, and it was like a Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever, to the recess teacher, to just give an example of the fact that things were going on for multiple days, and she was like, well, why didn't you tell me it was happening on Monday then, if it happened on Monday? And I was like, well, that's not the point. I tried to tell her that, and she was like, well, no, you should tell me when things are happening. And then I tried to tell her a thing that was happening that day, and she was like, okay, well, I'll see about it, and then nothing happened. And I was still bullied. I fucking hate. This is just too much. I have a student with ADHD, and every time I take them out to their parent, they say to me, thank you for dealing with him. And in my head, I'm just like, wow, kind of fucked up to say that in front of him. Also, just kind of a fucked up way to be thinking about your kid. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I love working with these kids. That's the thing that's fucking me up the worst. A bit, though, in quitting this job is I don't want to leave these kids. I love them. I've loved working with them for the past 8-9 months. Yes, there have been some moments that have been hiccups, but I have been great about picking myself up and moving on when it comes to working with these kids. Because I just keep reminding myself, these are kids. The things that they do make sense in their head because they haven't had the life experience yet to understand when things are wrong, and we have to be the ones to teach them, gently guide them to understand that those things are not okay, and here's how we can do better. Like, we are important figures in these kids' lives just as much as their parents are. And so the fact that they so implicitly trust us and put their trust in us, and these things are happening that are distressing them or hurting them to some degree emotionally, not physically. Thankfully, I've not witnessed any single one of my coworkers hurting the kids physically, thank God. But, you know, it's still fucked up regardless that they're being hurt emotionally. It just hurts me, specifically. Especially from what I came from. What I was so used to seeing every day last year before, I think. Like, I was 2023, 2024. And then my job was 2024, 2025. But just to see the shift in the gentle kindness of the librarian I was working with to this, like, cruelty has, like, shaken me to my core. And I am very upset about it. And I'm like, oh my god, I can't fucking believe this. I just can't. The kids are almost never the problem in my experience with the adults. Yeah, that's why I said in the beginning, it is not the kids' fault for me leaving. It is not their fault whatsoever. No, for no reason, I am not blaming the kids whatsoever for my quitting my job. It is not their fault. I love those kids. They're wonderful. And I would work with them forever if I could. But it's just everything else. I'm sorry you've had to deal with this and the kids facing it as well. Yeah. I feel so bad for the fucking kids. Yesterday I was doing my best. I vowed to myself yesterday I'm going to be as kind as humanly possible. like, I've been kind as best as I possibly can to these kids, even despite how exhausted I've been. I'm going to be as kind as humanly possible to these kids, and I'm going to make sure that they're going to be okay before I leave, which means I'm going to have that difficult conversation with my supervisor about what we do with my coworker, if there is anything that can be done about my coworker. And because I don't want to leave them in incapable hands. I want them to be treated with the utmost kindness. And what I have witnessed is not kindness. It is apathy to the point of just a obsession with power to a certain degree. Like, my coworker is popular with the kids, granted. He's worked with them for years and years and years. Some of them he's seen from kindergarten to, like, 6th grade at this point. They love him, but, like, they need somebody else. Especially these little kids, they need somebody else. I've had my moments where I have not been the most stellar, and I've had to abide by what my coworker has set out and laid out for the kids. But, like, I don't hate them. I don't. I don't have a single bad bone in my body to hate them. I'm physically incapable of it. Like, I don't have any vitriol. They're great. They're wonderful. And I want to leave them understanding that there is better things in this world, and that they don't need my coworker to, like, be the person in charge, because, like, I hope I'm making sense. Like, they need somebody better. I want them to understand that what they have currently is not good, and that they deserve somebody better to look after them and get them through their days. I mean, God, like, even yesterday, I probably had a better time working with the kids than I have had in all the 8 months of chaos that I have had with them. But, because there's one kid, he's a bit chaotic. I struggle with him a little bit because he kind of just doesn't think before he does stuff. But I had a moment of connecting with him for, like, the first time in a couple of months, because he was sat behind me during snack time and he was just eating this huge pile of bread, because they had turkey and cheese sandwiches, and the kids were giving him his bread that they didn't want. And he was just eating this bread behind me, and I was like, "You really like bread, don't you?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I really do like bread, but I have to have something to, like, drink to eat with it." And I was like, "Do you ever get bread hiccups?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I can't eat anything unless I have something to drink." And I'm like, "Oh dude, no, me too." And he's like, "Oh, it's really bad with potatoes." I'm like, "Dude, no, I get it." And, like, we had a moment. We had a moment of understanding between us, because I also need stuff to drink when I eat, no matter what it is, because I have such a hard time swallowing. So we just, like, connected for a minute. He's a chaotic kid and he can have his moments, but he's great. And I just was, like, glad to have that moment of connecting with him. And yeah, it was nice to connect with the kids. Connecting with their parents, some of them too are really nice. There's 2 parents of 2 of the kids that are really nice, and I like talking to them. One of the parents actually one time had complimented me on my Beatles shirt and asked me if I knew the Beach Boys, and I was like, "Oh buddy, you have no idea." So he was nice, and I was glad to talk with him the other day too, and the other parent as well. So I'm gonna miss it. I'm definitely gonna miss it. But yeah, it's better for me this way. I have told exactly one of the kids that I'm quitting. I haven't told all of them yet, and I probably won't until the moment gets closer to where I'm quitting. But I told one of the kids, and it was the one that usually likes to hang out with me. She hangs out with me, like, every single day. I told her, and she was very sad by it. She's like, "No, I don't want you to leave. You've been great. I don't know who I'll be able to talk to when you leave." And it's like, "You're gonna break my goddamn heart. Please stop." Because she really does like to hang out with me, and she really has connected with me. She loves to talk to me about stuff, and like I've told her so many things, and we talk about movies and TV shows and music, all kinds of stuff, and she loves to talk. I freaking info dumped it to her about wrestling, and she got into it for a half a minute. It was great. I'm gonna miss her the most, probably. She was a very sweet kid. She reminded me a lot of me growing up. Her and her brother were great. Her and her brother are great. Hang on, I'm sorry, I'm skipping over chat messages. We desperately need more kind and empathetic voices in education instead of the obsession with punishment and fear I see all the time. That's very true. Yes, I'm sure the kids really appreciate your presence. As a kid, I treasured the teachers that were kind to me very much. I think about my 3rd grade teacher who taught me how to tie my shoes all the fucking time. She was the greatest. And my 4th grade teacher, too. She was also very nice. So yeah, those are the kind of people that I think about and were nice to me. I don't really think about my 5th or 6th grade teachers at all. Or even my 1st through 2nd kindergarten. Sending you virtual hugs if they're acceptable. Yes, I'm more than happy to accept a hug. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's heartbreaking. I hope you and her can meet each other again someday. I hope so too. I'm gonna leave her with some advice because she's 2 years off from going into middle school. So I'm gonna give her some like advice for the future. Hopefully we can reconnect again someday. I have her name. I'll just have to make sure I keep it somewhere that I remember and might look her up one day. Someday in the future when she's out of school and college or whatever. Okay, hold on. Hey, quick question. There's a girl that likes me and I like her, but do I start a relationship with her because she's gone through a very bad experience in relationship? How do I tell her? Oh, buddy. First of all, hi, welcome to the stream. Second of all, I don't know if I'm exactly the person you should be coming to with this information, but I can give my own advice about it. This isn't the end-all be-all of advice. Granted, this is just one person on the internet. But, oh, there goes my dog. But I guess I can give you some advice. She's had bad experiences in the past. You both seem to like each other. What I would suggest is you go slow. You get to know her. You talk to her. You just... You go through the motions of being friends first, I would say, and if there's still feelings, then you can talk to her about if you two want to proceed into a relationship. Just go slow. Don't try to rush it, because rushing it will inevitably make those feelings that she's had about past relationships flare up, and it might cause problems. Just take it very, very slow. Like, there's no rush. I'm guessing you guys are young. Don't say your age in chat, please. Don't say your age. I'm guessing you're young. Just understand that it's better to get to know a person first before you try to rush into a relationship. We've been friends for 6 years, so it's been hard. Okay. Well, yeah. Also, yeah, talk to people you trust who know about you guys IRL. Like, if your parents know, you trust, like, a teacher, other mutual friends of yours, although I don't know about that really depends, but like people you trust to also get their advice as well. But just like go slow, take it easy, and if a relationship happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, then so be it. Being in a relationship is not the end all be all. You don't need to be in a relationship. Sometimes like relationships through friendships don't happen. Sometimes they just remain friendships because you realize, like, the dynamics between the both of you work better through friendships instead of relationships, but, like, I hope I'm making sense. Regardless, anyways, just take it slow and be careful. If she says something makes her uncomfortable, then stop. Don't keep doing it. And just communicate. Oh, for the love of God, please just communicate with each other. Thank you so much. Of course. Absolutely. I hope that this advice helps some, and I wish you the best of luck, my friend. You're free to come back into chat if you have any more questions. I will do my best. Like I said, I'm just one person on the internet. But, also just don't take my advice as gospel, please, for the love of God. Don't just, like I said, not the end-all be-all of advice. Please talk to other people, too, and get their opinions and form your own understanding of what to do through them. But I hopefully that does help you in some way. Yeah. Anyway, that came out of left field. But I felt like I needed to address it because I didn't want to leave that chatter ignored, okay? I love doling out advice as best as I possibly can, especially with relationship stuff, but also, like, I don't know if I'm the best person to come to about relationship stuff because all my relationships have failed to some degree. Because of myself, mostly. But hopefully that helps. I had to dig out my goddamn freaking degree. The training I had with my degree to get that to help with that. Once in high school, I went on a singular date with a guy, and mid-date, we both agreed that we were better off friends, and we are still friends. It doesn't have to be catastrophic or a huge deal. Exactly. Sometimes things just don't work out in the end, but you still have a good close friend as a result of it. That's never happened with me. Most of the people that I've ended up dating have been friends first, and then we've just ended up in relationships. Like, we've known each other for a period of time, and then we started dating. And it worked out for the most part. And then it didn't. I'm not gonna go into my woes about dating, because you guys don't need to know that. But what you should, I guess, know that I think is funny is I have 7 exes. I've dated 7 people. So I like to call myself Ramona Flowers, and I have 7 evil exes. Which is a lie. I don't have 7 evil exes. I have, like, 3 that I can notably pick out that sucked. We have, and one is recent. Was in a brief romance with a friend. We stayed friends after we broke up. Haven't heard from him a lot lately since he's busy with work. I haven't been friends with any of my exes. I tried with one. And then, like, they fucked up my life real bad, so I just agreed I'm not gonna be friends with my exes. It never works out. Never. Ramona Flowers moment. Yep. I am not Ramona Flowers, thank God. I'm way better. I would like to think. You're like non-binary Ramona Flowers. If you want to join my polycule, you have to be. Shut the fuck up. I was thinking that exact thing the other day. If you want to join my polycule, you have to beat my 7 evil exes on Osu. Not the Osu part, but you know. That's so good. Knives and Kim were my favorite characters. I never finished Scott Pilgrim. I read the entirety of the comic and I've seen the movie like multiple times. I couldn't watch the TV show they did recently, the animated TV show, where it was from Ramona's perspective. I think I got through one of the episodes and then I stopped. Not because I didn't think it was great, it was fantastic. I just was not in a space to finish it. Who were even my favorite characters when I watched it initially? I think I was a Ramona girly from like the first moment I watched it. I loved Ramona. I was enamored with her. But I also really liked Kim. I was like, bitch, you are so no nonsense. I love you. Yes, Scott Pilgrim takes off. I tried to watch it and then I couldn't finish it and I feel really bad. What was Ramona's one girlfriend that she had? I liked her too. I thought she was great. I was like, oh my god, Ramona's bi, let's go. Also, Wallace, yes, I love Wallace. Wallace, my beloved. Also, I love this moment we're having where we're taking off from the bad and we're going into the good. This is exactly what I wanted to do. Thank you. I had enough to say about my job anyway. Fuck that place. I'm moving on, doing other shit. Roxanne. Oh my god, her name is Roxanne. I have to think of that fucking song. Oh my god. Roxanne. What's it from? Moulin Rouge? Never even seen that musical. I just know the song. Wallace, my beloved, though. I wasn't crazy about Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, but the animation went crazy and the title sequence was it was very good. The first episode, plus they got all the original people that were in the movie by Edgar Wright to come back to voice the characters. It was great. I loved that. Yes, like this song. Roxanne. Sorry. I'm musical nerding out on you guys for like a second. I don't mean to. Occasionally it happens. I was in theater, guys, if you couldn't tell. I did theater for 2.5 years in high school, and I gloat about that all the fucking time. Everyone's like, can't you let it go? And I'm like, dude, it was peak experience for me in high school that I carried into my adult years. Like, theater also did fuck me up, so like, Scott Pilgrim the movie apparently was the first role for the girl who played Knives, aka the best character of Scott Pilgrim next to Kim. Really? That was her first role? She did great. Oh my god, that's incredible. Wait, hang on. I gotta look up the cast again real quick, see who played Knives in the movie. Because I know Michael Cera. I remember Michael Cera and fucking Brie Larson. Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Kieran Culkin being Wallace was incredible. Kieran Culkin is just a really good actor. I love her. Her? She heard Kieran Culkin. Shit. Oops. Him. She heard. Whoops. Forget that. Ellen Wong. Her name's Ellen Wong. She did great as Knives. Oops. To everyone, forget about the fact that she heard Kieran Culkin. I had a little too much. I do that a little too much with John Lennon. I heard John Lennon a little too much. So that it bled through on accident. I went to a theater performing arts summer camp. I'm never living that down. Look, I got the lead role my last year of high school of a production. Finally, I had that. But I played a fucking 16-year-old girl with a shitty wig. I'm never living that down. And my character was in love with a 30-year-old man who was a doctor, who was not interested in me, but my mom, who was played by a 16-year-old. My theater department was great. What? Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry. My theater department was a mess. The person who was playing... Oh, sorry, I just got back from changing the eraser of my mechanical pencil. Oh, I was just explaining how I got a lead role in my last year in high school in the theater. But I played a 16-year-old girl, and my character was in love. I was 18 at the time, mind you. I was 18 playing a 16-year-old. And I was in a shitty wig and a dress, a gingham dress. And my character, 16, was in love with a 30-year-old man who was a doctor that flew into our town from a hot air balloon. He's not interested in me, though, but he's interested in my mom, and the person who was playing my mom was 16. Oh my god, it was crazy. Crazy, I tell you, crazy. Amazing, an incredible moment. Hang on, I'm getting a blanket, because I want to be cozy. There we go. Alright, we're all good. But, yeah. It's... lol. My theater department was wild. Unironically, because a lot of shit happened in our theater department. To other people, but also to me. Because that is where I met my ex. Not my most recent ex. My ex before her. That fucked me up real bad. That sexually assaulted me. And fucked up my life forever. I was hospitalized twice because of that one. But, yeah. We did theater together. Didn't help any either that, like... They were... running the production that I was the lead in, and we were going through a rough break at that time, and they were also cheating on me at the same time, so like, Yeah, no, that production is fucking cursed. Most cursed production we ever did. I think the second most cursed was the one that I ran. That was like a production inspired by Some Like It Hot, where two guys are cross-dressing. So many props broke. So many props broke in that production. Sorry, I don't want to get into theater stuff. I could talk forever about how fucked up my theater department was in high school. 1 year, Hang on, what? 1 year for one act play, I played a 40-year-old depressed husband type character. I was emo as fuck and had dyed my hair with a singular blonde streak at the time, and I could not sell the role at all. That's incredible. More cursed production than Macbeth. Oh my god. We never did Shakespeare productions. We did, whatever we could get our hands on. The thing I'm most pissed off about the fact of my theater department is when I graduated, they put on Little Shop of Fucking Horrors as the musical of the year. And I'm so fucking pissed because I love Little Shop of Horrors and I would have fucking killed it as Audrey. And you can't convince me otherwise. I'm pissed. I'm so mad. Oh my god. Literally the year after. And the thing is, to put on Little Shop of Horrors is so fucking expensive. Because you have to get the rights to it to be able to perform it in the first place. You have to be able to buy the rights to perform it. Which is how it goes in most high school productions. Which is why we did most of the, like, cheaper musicals that nobody knew about. That had, like, faded out from, like, public consciousness at that point. And most of them were from, like, the fucking 50s or 60s. I'm so mad. So mad! You heard it in my voice. I'm so fucking pissed. I would have loved to do Little Shop of Horrors. Even fucking, like, oh my god. Yes, I am not Jaden Animations. Hello. Why does everyone think I'm Jaden? This is like the third person now I think that's coming to my streams that has been like, oh, your avatar reminds me of Jaden Animations, or oh no, you're not Jaden Animations. No, I'm not Jaden. But hello, welcome in. I'm talking about my experiences in high school doing theater. I got to cross-dress a bunch for Rocky Horror. And it was a very significant event in my life. Dude, I would have killed to do some kind of production of Rocky Horror. Oh my god, I love Rocky Horror! Because your animation's reflecting it. I'm a PNG tuber. I look nothing like Jaden, but, like, thanks. I don't do animations or anything, but anyway. Little Shop of Horrors is so good. It's funny knowing the musical and the movie director only... Excuse me. The musical and the movie musical only exist because of a crappy film directed in 2 days by Roger Corman. That's incredible. You know, one thing that's significant, I guess, is, we were into the more popular musicals of the day back in that time, because it was, what, 2016, I think I joined the musical. I did the musical for that year. I joined the theater as a whole that year as well. And we got into the super popular musicals of that time period, so, like, Hamilton, Dear Evan Hansen, Wicked, which I guess has been around forever, but, like, whatever. What else? Be More Chill. There were a few others. Oh! Heathers. Heathers was very huge at the time, too. One of my audition songs I did was Michael in the Bathroom. For, like, a musical. I got ensemble again. I auditioned for 2 musicals, and both times I auditioned, I got ensemble, and I'm fucking pissed about it, but whatever. I guess I couldn't, you know what, I guess it's fair, because I don't know if I could have handled being in front of a crowd and singing. I'm much better. I can do, like, I can be in front of a crowd doing a monologue or whatever, but singing, oh, fuck no. I saw Dear Evan Hansen around 2017 when it was in DC, and it was crazy to see it blow up after. Oh. You have seen so many musicals, I swear to God, Leah. Like, the original, yes, the 1960 original film was indeed made in 2 days. It also had one of the earliest roles of Jack Nicholson, who played the masochistic dentist patient Wilberforce. Oh my god. The more you know. One of the other earlier roles that Jack Nicholson had was in Head, 1968. Just so you know, I think that's the first time he actually appeared on screen was in Head. Oh my god. Don't even get me started on Head. But anyway, sometimes I think about watching the Dear Evan Hansen movie and I'm like, fuck no, after I think about it for like 2 seconds, because I don't want to see 30-something-year-old Ben Platt playing Evan Hansen, who's supposed to be 16. Like, hang on. Like, he looks his age is the problem. Ben Platt looks his age. At least somewhat when it came to the stage production, you could suspend your disbelief a little bit. A little bit. Because Ben Platt has a great voice. But, like, fuck, dude. Also, the guy that played Connor Murphy in the original production went on to do Challengers. So, like... I think about that all the fucking time. When I saw the promo material for Challengers, I was like, wait a second, why is Connor Murphy here with Zendaya? I was like, wait a minute, hang on a second. The movie's very bad, I know. They cut out some of the important songs narratively, I know. And it was made by the guy who did Perks of Being a Wallflower. I'm so upset. Bill Murray would play Arthur Denton in the 1986 film, a character who is a direct nod to Wilberforce. Wilberforce never got adapted to the musical until the 1986 film. That's good. I forgot Bill Murray was in that fucking film. I forgot about that. Because I think about fucking the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids guy. What the fuck's his name? I can't remember. That guy playing Seymour. Suddenly Seymour. I've never seen Perks of Being a Wallflower. Is it worth watching? I watched it 3 times in the same week in January. Other than Ezra Miller being a shit, awful person. Yeah, I think it's worth watching. It's a very good movie. It just has a lot of, like, touchy material in it. It also has, like, a narrative. The through-line narrative with the main character, Charlie, deals in, like, SA, like CSA. So there's that I should warn you about. But I like Perks. I think it's pretty good. I think it aged pretty well. Rick Moranis, thank you. You are just coming in so handy with all these names. Thank you, my friend. Yes, Rick Moranis. I've also never seen Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but I know his face anywhere. And that's the one frame of reference I have to be like, oh yeah, that guy that was in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Yes. Rick Moranis has been on an acting hiatus to raise his kids since 1997. King. That's a king right there. Let's go. Thank you, Rick Moranis. You care more about your kids than your career. Let's go. That's mean to say because a lot of actors don't actually get paid a lot, but like, you know what I mean. Like, bless him. He cares about his kids. That's great. Excuse me. God, I can't read. I'm sorry. I've known some weird film bro types who love that movie, so I've avoided it. But I have the same experience with Eternal Sunshine, and I love that movie. That's so fair. I've never seen Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I should, though. I do love Perks. It's very good. I love the book more. I read the book before I watched the movie for the first time. But I love the movie. It's very good. It's a very faithful adaptation. Because it's done by the author, too. The author directed the movie. So it's a faithful adaptation of the source material. And, I just cry every single time I watch the movie, and it's very, very good. And also because, like, I just feel so sad for Ezra Miller's character because they're playing a gay boy who's repressed. It's a lot. I also know... Jesus Christ. I'm so sorry I'm struggling to read today. Please don't mind my stutter. I also know Rick Moranis, since he played Dark Helmet in Spaceballs. Yes. Yes, that is also how I know him as well. I think that's the first time I ever saw Rick Moranis was in Spaceballs. And Barney Rubble in the live-action Flintstones movie. Said Flintstones movies also had fancy McDonald's cups made to promote it. Yep. Mm-hmm. It's okie dokie. I don't mind the stutter. Thank you. I'm just struggling to talk a lot lately. I've been struggling a lot lately with my entire life. I've been zoning out a lot lately, so, and also just struggling to, like, talk. I've been so much in my head lately that trying to verbalize what's going on in my head has just been a lot harder, which is why my stutter's been a lot worse. So, yeah. But thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. It's also nice to talk movies with you guys and musical theater specifically. My ex hated musicals. I think I've mentioned that before. We would avoid watching the only musical I think we watched was Rocky Horror, but we didn't watch any other musicals. And I think she just like fucking would tell me she didn't like musicals because like they were like cringy. The best way that I could put it was like she would cringe at them, and I was like, we kind of gotta get over that. You know, like the way you enjoy musicals is you get over the hurdle of it being unrealistic, and you just give yourself over to it, baby. Give yourself over to absolute pleasure. Sorry. You must accept the camp? Yes. Every single time also when I'm going home, I hear I'm going home from Rocky Horror Picture Show in my fucking brain. I'm just like, I'm coming home. And I'm just like, hell yeah, baby, I'm going home. It's my finals week currently, so I've been very scatterbrained. Oh yeah. That's so incredibly fair. Excuse me. McDonald's also created the mascot character, Mac Tonight. Yes, I know about Mac Tonight. He was neat. There totally wasn't a lot of racist memes made about him due to his head being a crescent moon. Oh, whoops. Yikes. He also had his own series of FNAF fan games. Yes, I also know that. Also, nice singing voice chords. Thank you. My voice is kind of rough right now because I did a lot of yelling, but I'm getting better about singing in front of people. I've been testing it out occasionally on stream, and you guys like hearing me sing, and it's great. One of these days I'll do karaoke, I don't know. Being back in school feels weird and kind of a step backwards, but it feels like a good decision. I don't know. That's totally fair. I don't know if I'll go back to school, honestly. I just kind of want to work. I'm gonna get in contact with one of my IRL friends and see about jobs that they were talking to me about before. At their workplace, they work at a college. I'm gonna see if they have any jobs offers and positions that they think I would be best for at that place, because yeah, I want to get out of here. So your singing voice is good. Thank you. You're too nice. It was so weird seeing how many times those fan games had to update Mac model had to update Mac model even remotely look like Mac Tonight. Yeah. I just need a more profitable skill set because I'm so tired of being poor. Yep, that's so fair. That's so completely and utterly fair. Yeah, the struggles of trying to stay out of poverty. Sorry, my English sucked there. Oof. No, you're fine. I understood completely still what you said. I just was struggling to read it for a second because I thought it was an issue with me, because sometimes I miss words when I read because I read so fast. So no. You're totally fine. That's me. I didn't understand it for 2 seconds. No, I got what you mean. I read a lot of sentences of people who have like either English is their second language or they struggle to type through because they might have like dyslexia, or even just sometimes they type something too fast and miss a couple of words. So I'm so used to reading sentences that might have a few words missing in them or just don't structurally make sense, but I still make sense of it in my head. So like, don't worry, you're fine. Low-key been feeling too stupid to live this semester because it's a bit more of a technical field, but hopefully I'll get through the learning curve soon. I hope you make it through this. I believe at you. If you're going crazy and you just need someone to like talk to like get shit out of your head, you can always shoot me a DM. I'm like 1 DM away. You always message me like once in a blue moon, and it's always to show me stuff that reminds you of me. And I'm like, that's so cute, but also I want to talk to you more. I think I said that in my message to you last, that like, I find it really cute that you do that. It is cute. I love it. I message you when I think of you. That's nice. She said yes. Yay! Congratulations! Yay! That's great to hear. I'm so happy for you and you too. And I hope all the happiness for you guys. But like I said, take it slow, be careful, and listen to the stuff that she tells you she's not okay with. Congrats though! That's awesome to hear. Thank you for updating us. Awesome. I did like a little cheers. I gave a little toast to you guys with my water bottle. I am good. Very good. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Oh, yay. Good news, good news, good news. Let's see. There's a particular course that I'm in. Oh god. My brain's doing it again. There's a particular course that I'm in that deals with soldering circuit boards and cable and such, and I'm so horrendously bad at it. I hope you make it through, though. Yes, I also would like to speak with you more. I'm simply horrendous at starting and maintaining combos. You're fine. I'm bad at it, too. But, it's okay. We'll figure it out together. I hope talking has helped you feel better so far tonight, Quartz. It has. Like I said, I just need to get shit out of my brain by talking about it, whether out loud to myself or back and forth with people. And then I can get it out of my brain. I need to get stuff out of my brain sometimes, and then that's how I feel better, because, like, I need to just talk through things, and then I feel better. Otherwise, it just stays in my head. If I talk to myself, it's not gonna help, but if I talk to other people, it helps more. I just need a sounding board, you know, to, like, get shit out of my brain. Me and her are going out because she wants me to come. Cool. Awesome. I hope you have fun. I hope you guys have fun going out and have a lovely, awesome date. Smile. I am smiling at you guys, that's why I said that. Because my little character can't emote. I'm a permanent kind of smile. Anyway. I don't know. It's just, my brain's so scattered. I'm so tired. Yeah. Smile. Yeah. Have fun, be safe. Exactly, yeah. I just like hanging out and stream with you guys. I just like talking. Talking streams, unfortunately, are like not popular on my channel for some reason. I always have to be doing something. I'm so happy right now. I'm happy for you, dude. I hope you have a great time. Party goer smile. Gugh, remember the backrooms, everyone. I do like talking with you guys. I do love hanging out on stream with you guys. It's always so fun. It fills the void of loneliness that I feel. I've been so... I'm gonna sound like a freaking Victorian woman for a second. I've been so dreadfully, like, lonely lately. And I enjoy the talking streams, but I'm such a yapper, lol. That's so fair. I like back and forthing. That's the thing. I love back and forthing. I love talking to people that I'm close with. Or on stream. But, what was I saying? I've been so dreadfully lonely. Like, unbelievably so, because I don't have any people IRL really to hang out with. I have, like, 2 people that I am friends with in person, because all of my other friends are not my friends anymore for various reasons. And then all the other friends that I have either live in a different state completely, or, are out of the country in different continents around the world. And I don't have a passport yet. So, I'm struggling to fill the void of loneliness to some capacity, because it's... I just want people to talk to me. I just want to talk to people. I like talking to people. Being in my head all the time sucks. And I know for a fact that there's probably one person that's watching this that's thinking, like, oh my god, and, like, gonna blame himself for a second. It's like, I know who you are watching this. We've talked about this before. This is directed at a specific person. This isn't directed at you guys. We've talked about this before. It's not you. I promise. It's not you. You have stuff going on. It's fine. Take care of yourself, please. It's okay. I don't mind what we have currently when we talk. This little circumstances we have when we talk. Take care of yourself. It's fine. We've talked about this before. Don't worry about it. I just like talking, but I will be fine. For the most part, I will be fine. I will survive. I've just been in such spells of loneliness. I just miss hanging out with people, and I miss talking to people all the time, watching movies and stuff. I'm just lonely currently, and I just want to, like, be with a person in person right now. That's not my coworker or the kids. I just need to, like, hang out with people, talk to people somewhat regularly, because I feel I'm just like, ugh. I've been in my head too much. I just need to talk to somebody before I go fucking crazy. I have also been dreadfully lonely and isolated IRL. I dislike most of my coworkers and I feel weird at every function. Yeah. We don't have enough functions at my job to be able to really connect with any of my coworkers, unfortunately. So it's literally just me and my coworker, the one that I primarily work with. So I feel very, very isolated. Especially because I'm working in an area where I don't know anybody. It's near the area where my grandma lived, but yeah. Also came out to my mom this past week, and it's been super fucking weird and uncomfy. I'm proud of you for being able to come out. I'm gonna say that. I'm so proud that you had built up the confidence to come out, but I'm so sorry that it's not been working out. I'm sorry. Hopefully it gets better soon. Yeah, it's rough. Especially not knowing or feeling like you're not gonna know what the reaction's gonna be. Oh man. Yeah, I get it. Anyway, I hope things get better for you, Leah. Yeah, I hope things get better for you too, my friend. My dear. I've been feeling so weirdly, I don't want to say matronly, but I've just been wanting to call people dear lately, or darling. My dearest. I've been calling one person in specific my sweet. What up? Okay, hang on. I'm trying not to make the conversation sad because I have a proclivity for doing that. Wasn't even confident, she just kept prodding me like, why are you so miserable all the time? And eventually I just blurted out because I'm transgender and I can't do anything about it. Oh. Oh dear. Yeah. I'm sorry. I wish there was more we could do to help you, Leah. Like, genuinely, I feel... I do follow you on, like, Insta, so I pay attention to what you post and stuff, and I just, like, I know some of what has been going on. I'm just like, yeah, I wish there was more we could do. I'm sorry. I'm also making it sad that it's partly my bad as well. Nah, don't worry about it. But I do wish you all the best, my friend. I could talk to you guys, actually. I got back into reading because I'd been in a reading slump since December. I've been talking about this a lot, that I've struggled to do things like reading or drawing or writing consistently because I just completely lost my muse for everything after January, especially. Oh my god, January, February, the worst months of my life, I will say. By far, except for the very end of February for reasons, but thank you, Quartz, it means very much. Of course. Giving you a little heart with my hands. I did get back into reading recently, toward the end of April. I started reading Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier because I just was so, like, winding myself up one day, just getting so upset at the fact that I just haven't been able to do anything recently, like reading or whatever, and I was just staring at my bookshelves, and I was like, okay, just pick out a book that's gripping your attention. The first thing you see that is interesting to you, just pick it up and read it. And I was staring at my little classics pile that I have, and I pulled out Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, and I just started reading it alongside an audiobook. I found an audiobook on YouTube, and it was 14 hours long. I put it on 2x speed, and I just started reading, and it was the greatest experience I fucking had with reading in a long time. The first time I was in a reading slump, I read Moon of the Crusted Snow by, I'm gonna butcher this name a little bit, it's an indigenous name, Wubshig Rice. It was very good. I loved that book. Very short too, and I want to get the sequel to it. It was a very good book, and I was very happy that I was able to read it. And then the second book that got me out of my second slump now is Rebecca. So I can't stress enough. Thank you for all your support and advice you give me. Thank you so much. Of course. Thank you for coming to us, for feeling comfortable with coming to us online and asking for help. And I wish you all the best of luck, my friend. I'm very grateful you came to us. I've also been in a reading slump, but recently, due to my Nirvana hyperfixation, I read a Kurt Cobain biography that pissed me off. Yeah. Most of them will do that. I had that same issue with the Beatles. I like audiobooks and audio dramas. I love audiobooks. They're great. But I need to have an audiobook going while I'm reading. I can't just have an audiobook unless I'm like doing other things. I can't just scroll on my computer mindlessly or just sit there and listen to it, because I just have to have the words to be able to follow it easily. That's why I also have issues with like podcasts and stuff, unless I'm like watching the podcast, the video form of it. I cannot listen to it. But in any case, I found the audiobook for Rebecca. Very good narrator, I will say. It was a very good narrator that I managed to find. And I'm kind of obsessed with the book right now. I did also just start up another book. I'm moving from one book to the next. The next one I'm reading currently is 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. I saw on Libby, which is the library app that I use to sometimes check out audiobooks, that they're apparently turning that book into a TV series, which I found interesting. I was like, ooh, I've heard really good things about 100 Years of Solitude. A lot of people love that book. So I was very surprised to see it was getting turned into, it's a Netflix adaptation. They're turning it into a TV show, I believe. So I started reading it. I'm 100-something pages in. Good night, my friend. Have a good night. I'm 100-something pages in, 100+ pages in. I love it so far, but I am like side-eyeing it a little bit. And there's a lot of stuff going on in that book. But Rebecca, excuse me. The only biopic I have enjoyed of him is literally the just stock footage of Seattle with audio of him just talking about his life, and it is rapturous. Yes. I love hearing Kurt talk about Washington. It's great. Rebecca. If you don't know what Rebecca is about, it's about the main character is nameless. It's a nameless main character. She's cooped up in this little hotel in France, and she meets this man named Mr. De Winter, or Maxim. I'm just gonna call him Maxim. And they seemingly fall head over heels for each other in the week that they get to know each other, and then he randomly drops it, was like, oh yeah, by the way, do you want to get married to me? And she says yes, of course, and so she becomes the new Mrs. De Winter, because 10 months before they met, Maxim's first wife, Rebecca, name of the book, died unexpectedly. And so 10 months later, they're now married. He takes her back to his large, sprawling estate in London, not even London, England, called Manderley. And now she's in charge of this ginormous house that she has no idea what to do about, because she grew up in poverty. She does not have parents. They're both dead. So she has no idea what to do about this new life that she's come into. However, it doesn't help either that the head maid, Mrs. Danvers, fucking hates her and will take every opportunity she possibly can to set her up for failure. So, not only is the main character, Mrs. De Winter, the new Mrs. De Winter, struggling with this house that was once run just so perfectly by Rebecca to a T now, and she's floundering, figuring out anything and leaving everything to Mrs. Danvers. She also has to deal with the fact that this woman, this maid, hates her and does not want her to be in this house anymore. It's great. I love it. The slow building suspense and the beautiful, luscious descriptions of Manderley as a whole are incredible. Daphne du Maurier does a great job at building up this little world that you just kind of get sucked into super easily. I don't normally like books about rich people. I fucking hate them because I hate rich people's shenanigans, and I'm just like, you know, don't you have shit to do? Like, I got a job, man. I'm, like, working half the day. You're just over here floundering about your massive house and your fortune. So, okay, sure, whatever. I fucking hate narratives like that. It just bores me. I just get so frustrated because it's just rich people problems that just could easily be solved normally, but because they're rich, it's, like, even worse somehow. But with this instance, it kind of helps that the main character is from abject poverty. She has hardly any money to her name. She was training to be a companion to Miss Van Hopper, who was the woman that she was with before she got passed off to Maxim. I say passed off, it kind of was kind of like a passing off, almost got tossed like a fucking football to Maxim. But, it helps to have that perspective of, like, what is going on? And also, she gets lost in the house easily, too. And I was like, dude, yeah, I would get lost in this fucking huge thing, too. Also, this house has wings. Like an east wing and a west wing. And I'm like, of course you have a fucking huge house that has wings in it. Oh my fucking god. The protagonist getting swept up into an unfamiliar world is a very short period of time. In a very short period of time seems like it would make it more compelling. Oh, it's very compelling. Very much so. She's swept up in a fucking whirlwind. Rebecca getting House of Leaves. I mean, it predates House of Leaves because, oh god, this novel was published in 1938, I think. Rebecca was. But, like, Rebecca as, an entity, the first wife, mind you, it's gonna get confusing, sorry. Rebecca is the first wife. She's dead. The main character of the story does not have a name. She does not have a name whatsoever. And she's only ever called, like, Darling or My Love by Maxim, or is otherwise referred to as Mrs. De Winter. So I'm just gonna say, like, the main character and Rebecca to, like, differentiate the two, because they are two different entities. I love House of Leaves, lol. I know some people who fucking hate that book, lol. That's fair. I have House of Leaves. I've never been able to finish it. I should, though. I was reading it at a bad time, though. I love House of Leaves. I love how interesting it is. Excuse me. I feel disappointed in myself for never finishing it. I never even reached the part where the book starts screwing with the reader. Same. I think I got 100 pages in and then I quit. I was just having a bad time and I couldn't finish it, so I never did. I need to dust my copy off and finish the fucking thing whenever I get a chance, because oh my god, that thing is so fucking thick. I'm so meticulous about it, so I'm just like, I know what it is about generally, so like, nothing's gonna surprise me, so. It's a book that's notoriously difficult to finish. It is designed to give you a headache, and I fuck with it so much for that. That's so fair. I know. It did give me a headache the couple of times I read it. I was like, what the fuck am I reading? I knew what I was going into, by the way, too. So, anyway, Rebecca. The one thing I need to say also about Rebecca is I watched the movie right after I finished it, and the movie sucks. It made no logical sense because they took out so many parts of it. They took out important characters. They changed around scenes. And also the acting, because the movie came out in 1940, the original one did, not the 2020 version with Armie Hammer. But oh my god. I'm obsessed with Rebecca right now. I'm sorry, I need to get all my thoughts out real quick, so I'm not even gonna look at chat. I know you guys are talking about House of Leaves, and we'll talk about House of Leaves in a second, but I need to get my thoughts out real quick. Oh my god, I'm sorry I talked so fast. Anyway, I stood up so I could look out my window, so I'm not tempted to look at chat. The fascinating thing about Rebecca, to me, that compelled me the most, even that kept me reading, was Mrs. Danvers. Because it's very clear in my eyes, and to many other people's eyes as well, that Mrs. Danvers was fucking obsessed with Rebecca. obsessed with her to an unhealthy degree where she keeps the room that she resided in because they moved the bedroom that Maxim and Rebecca had once shared to the east wing instead of the west wing, so they didn't have to hear the ocean anymore because of how Rebecca died. So now Maxim and the main character now reside in the east wing instead of the west wing. So the west wing room is intact as it had been when Rebecca was alive, and because Mrs. Danvers is dusting the room off periodically and maintaining it so it looks brand new. It looks as if Rebecca only just stepped out and didn't fucking die almost a year before the events of the book. Like, it's not even crazy to infer that she was in love with her. And so many people believe that. Sorry, I'm not looking at chat. I know you guys are probably staying tough, but I'm not looking at chat. I just need to get my thoughts out real quick and then I'll look at chat. Please don't think I'm ignoring you guys. I promise. I'm just like trying to get my thoughts out so I don't get distracted by chat and change the topic on accident. But I have so many fucking thoughts about Ms. Danvers as a character, and like I'm trying so hard not to spoil specific things about Rebecca as a book because I think you guys should read it. It's a good book. I love it. Except for the weird part where Maxim's sister, what was her fucking name? Oh my god, what was her fucking name? Beatrice and her husband Giles do brown face briefly by dressing up for a costume ball and putting brown paint on themselves. Mostly Giles, not Beatrice, but I digress. They changed that in the movie and I'm grateful for that. But like Mrs. Danvers, I love her. She's so she was so fucking devoted to her. She kept her fucking underwear. In the movie, she says that the underwear was made by nuns. And she grabs this like lace in the movie, this like lace under evening gown, and she holds it up to the main character and is like, look, you can even see my hand through it. And I'm just like, is there supposed to be a straight explanation for that? Is there supposed to be a straight explanation for why she shows her that? Or even why she showed her underwear? Because there's none to me. As evident from that. Like, I don't know what Daphne du Maurier specifically was going for in writing the character Miss Danvers if she wasn't queer coding her to hell and back. Is she supposed to be crazy? Like, obsessive crazy? That isn't love romantically? And it's supposed to weird the audience out? Because to me, it just is like, oh, she had a one-sided pining for Rebecca that may have, in the movie anyway, been reciprocated to a certain degree, because it's kind of implied that Rebecca married Maxim to have a lavender marriage. But, I digress. In the book, at least, it also kind of seems like Rebecca might be queer. I don't know. That she just kind of toyed around with men for the sake of toying around with men and was kind of having an affair with Ms. Danvers. I don't know. I can only speculate. But there's one part in the book. There's like a confrontation going on. And here's one thing I can't spoil because I don't like it as a plot point at all. Mr. Favell, also known as Jack, was someone that used to come around Mandalay often to visit his cousin Rebecca. But it was also mentioned by him anyway that they were having an affair and that they were together. Yikes. He confronts Miss Danvers at one point about them being together, and she's like denying it at first, and then she says eventually like men were just a game to her. She had no use for them. Where the fuck is the book? Hold on. I have there's a specific line that she says that Rebecca, in mentioning Rebecca's like thing about men. Oh my god, where is it? Please, for the love of God, let me see if I can find it. Men were of no use to her. That's what it said. Okay, that's the inquest. That's not what I'm looking for. Hang on. I'll find it. By Jove, I'll find it. And I'm gonna be here for a hot minute. while I look for it because I want to find it. It caught me so damn off guard when I read it the first time. I literally lost my damn mind. I was like, hang on a second. Hold the phone. Oh, here. I think I found it. Here's the passage. I'll read this. Here, I'll read it to you. This is main character narration. To my surprise, Miss Danvers considered him a moment without speaking. Mr. Favell. Without speaking, there was something of scorn in her glance she gave him. She was not, because it was said, like, Rebecca and I had lived together on and off for years, hadn't we? She was in love with me, wasn't she? Mr. Favell said that, and she said, and then Miss Danvers said she was not. Listen here, you old fool, began Favell, but Miss Danvers cut him short. She was not in love with you, or with Mr. De Winter. She was not in love with anyone. She despised all men. She was above all that. Favell flushed angrily. Listen here, didn't she come down the path through the woods to meet me night after night? Didn't you wait up for her? Didn't she spend the weekends with me in London? Well, said Mrs. Danvers with sudden passion, and what if she did? She had a right to amuse herself, hadn't she? Love-making was a game with her. Only a game. She told me so. She did it because it made her laugh. It made her laugh, I tell you. She laughed at you like she did all the rest. She did at the rest. I've known her I've known her come back and sit upstairs on her bed and rock with laughter at the lot of you. She was above men. That is the most lesbian sentence I've read in my life. I'm obsessed with that. I'm obsessed with the way she says that. She was above men. That is the gayest thing you could fucking say. I'm obsessed with Mrs. Danvers. I love her so bad. I only wish her happiness, honestly. It's such a compelling book. I fucking hate the main character of Rebecca, by the way, the main character of the book. Because, like, her husband does something irredeemable, and then but the only thing she focuses on the fact is that he didn't love his fucking wife. And it was like, oh, but our marriage is saved then. I can bear his children because he didn't love her. We'll be good. I'll cover up his misdeeds if the police come asking. And it's like, what is wrong with you? I would have divorced his ass in 2 seconds and asked for an annulment. I would have been like, bitch, you give me that fucking ring that you bought me and all those expensive dresses that I got from London, and I am taking my shit and I am leaving. I am moving to America. I am taking half of your fortune with me, and I am never going to talk to you ever fucking again. We are going to act like we don't know each other. You never married me. I never married you. Who the fuck are you? I don't know who you are. All this money that I inherited was mine anyway. In any case, I'm just like, I don't know. I like the book version of Miss Danvers better than the movie version, obviously, because, like, for as gay as they made Mrs. Danvers in the movie adaptation, probably even a little more gayer in her queer coding, that specific line where she mentions Rebecca being above men is not shown in the movie. And there's also a bunch of other plot errors in it that I don't like either. But I digress. I did not like it. I also hated that they killed her off at the very end. Because of course they had to. The monstrous queer has to die for the sake of the straight people. Which is a very common thing that happened with movies from that specific time period of like the 30s through the 60s. Because of the Hays Code. They had to be very discreet about queer characters after the Hays Code was implemented. And thus, like, many queer characters had to die, or queer-coded characters had to die, for the sake of the audience's comfort. Because, oh my god, the queer character is monstrous and evil, even though they're the most compelling part of this fucking movie, because all the other characters are fucking cardboard. They walk and talk like stiff cardboard, and maybe occasionally there'll be a character that walks and talks like wetted cardboard. But oh, this character's the best part about it, and we gotta kill him. Box office success. Anyway, those are all my thoughts about Rebecca. I could talk about it forever, but I don't want to get it too in depth about it because I won't go into spoilers. Anyway, I was looking out the window the whole time. I'm now sat back down. Oh my god, my ass hurts. Alright, hang on. Let's see. Right. Okay, you guys were talking about House of Leaves earlier. What do you think of the 2020 adaptation? I have not seen it. I need to, though, for the sake of my being a Rebecca scholar, I guess. I'm officially a Rebecca scholar. I will have to watch it, which I don't want to because I hate Armie Hammer with all my goddamn heart, but I have to. Ms. Danvers, one-sided Yuri, yes. Blackface, I think the term is. There's blackface and then there's brownface. Brownface and yellowface. Brownface is specifically for ethnicities who are non-black, as far as I understand. Like Latino or Arab people, like those who are specifically not black. Blackface, I believe, is specifically for black people. Kissing cousins, yeah. She was above all that, lol. She was above men. Wait, she's actually awesome. Score 1 for Rebecca. Of course, you'd be shocked by the amount of freaking characters I had the misfortune of reading who had no issue with loving a man who does nothing but genuinely evil things. Oh, believe me, I know. I've had my fair share, too. The main character of Rebecca is just another one to add onto the pile, but in this case, I was a little scandalized. I was like, bitch, really? You have no reason to love this man. He hardly pays attention to you. And in your own words, you feel like a child that occasionally gets a headbat from their father and then is ushered off again and promptly ignored. Like, bitch, get out of that marriage. It has happened way too many times in the visual novels I played. Oh, yeah. People still do that. Like, I see the bury your gaze trope everywhere. I mean, I understand specifically the bury your gaze trope. Oh, hang on. I am not talking about Dio. I am talking about Rebecca. The book Rebecca. I understand when queer people themselves write queer characters and kill them off, not for the sake of just killing them, but for, like, a narrative reason, just like any other character you would kill off. I understand it when it's that, but, like, I hate it when it's non-queer people killing off queer characters because they're queer. It's just bothersome. In any case, I'm very excited to read more from Daphne du Maurier. I actually have another one of her books on my shelf called The Parasites, and I'm very excited to read it. There's no audiobook for it, sadly, so I have to read it without an audiobook, but I'm very excited to read it after... I'm probably going to finish it. I'm going to start reading it after I finish 100 Years of Solitude, because I love Daphne du Maurier's writing. It's very good. It's very, gripping. Her writing style is very, very nice. I love it a lot. Legit, I'm sick of visual novels or RPG Maker games that just happily romanticize or glorify straight up abuse. He cut her tongue off, but he truly loved her. He chopped her hands off, yeah. Yeah. That's unfortunate. There is a lot of romanticized abuse. Not even just in, like, games or whatever. There's a lot of romanticized abuse in, like, books, too, and movies. There's a lot of romanticized stuff in general that I'm not okay with. But, there's just, like, some avenues where, like, how am I, like, there's ways to go about it where it doesn't feel like you're trying to promote it, is what I'm trying to say. Because I don't want to completely censor things that discuss abuse or other daunting subject matter. Because that is, I'm not pro-censorship whatsoever. I feel like you should be able to tell the stories you want to tell. There's some, like, a difference between talking about abuse in a way that's constructive versus, like, you are portraying it in a way that feels as though you think abuse is okay. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I'm explaining myself properly. I hope I'm getting across what I mean. Like, I'm not against media that portrays rape, because it's an experience that I've been through, like sexual assault. I'm not against it. There's a difference between glorifying it versus, like, including it with an explicit purpose of spreading a message. You know, in a way that's tasteful. Yeah, you can absolutely depict abuse without condoning it. Exhibit A, Blue Velvet. Yeah. Yeah, like that. I don't think I've really seen a specific movie that... The only piece of media that I can even remotely think about that touches on sexual abuse that I actually am okay with condoning is Revolutionary Girl Utena. It's not my specific experience specifically, but that was very good. I liked how it portrayed abuse and sexual abuse there. Fire Walk With Me too. Oh yeah, Fire Walk With Me. God, I keep forgetting Fire Walk With Me. I need to rewatch Fire Walk With Me. It's been a while. That movie made my fucking skin crawl. 5 stars. Yeah, it's a good movie. I actually can't sleep after she said yes, so I'm back. Welcome back. You should get some sleep though at some point, but we're glad to have you here. We're just talking about movies. We were talking about books. I don't have anything else to report on the book front, so we're back to movies. Because I have a motor mouth when it comes to talking about movies. I could go forever. You guys know me. I love talking about movies. If I could, I would wish I was a movie reviewer. God. I want to be a movie reviewer so bad. I've been watching bits of Twin Peaks. Oh, hell yeah. Let's go. Dude. Oh my god. The twins sure are peaking. I love Twin Peaks. It's so good. I'm not gonna spoil anything. Leah, don't spoil anything either. It's so good. I love Twin Peaks. I'm so glad that I watched it at the age that I did. It influenced me in so many ways. The scene where Leland obsessively tells Laura to wash her hands upset me so much I had to pause and take a second. Oh my god. The fucking scene where he like grabs her face. I think about that scene all the time. Either that or the pink room scene. The pink room specifically. I think about the pink room all the time. And it upsets me viscerally. I also need to reread The Secret Diary of Laura Palmer. It's been a hot minute. My favorite movie is Fury, which is a World War II movie. I've not heard of that one. I'm not big on war movies as a whole, but that's cool. That's cool. I'll have to look into that one. I don't think I've heard of that. Then again, I don't know a lot of war movies. The last war movie I even watched was Apocalypse Now. No, that's a lie. It was Jacob's Ladder. The last war movie I watched. It's not explicitly about the Vietnam War, but it's like the backdrop. Jacob's Ladder is so viscerally upsetting to me. I don't even know if I can rewatch it personally. But I loved it. I also just had a moment where they were singing Mr. Postman. Please, Mr. Postman, I think that song is called. And I just thought of the Beatles. I think I told you guys when I watched that I thought of the Beatles because I recognized the song. I was like, wait a minute. I know it's a cover, but I was like, wait a minute. I still haven't read The Secret Diary of Laura Palmer. I know I need to. Oh my god. It's so viscerally upsetting, The Secret Diary of Laura Palmer, because it goes into such depth about her early years from, I think it goes from when she was 12 up until she died. It starts when she's 12, and then it goes up until like 16 or 17 around the time she died. Oh my god, there's like so many details in it that upset me. I think about the passages where she talks about her and Bobby's relationship all the fucking time because it upsets me so much. I've been told there's also a Dale Cooper autobiography. I have a link to that. There's no way to get a physical version of it. There's like an online version of it, and yes, I can provide it to you if you want. I have it. Someone that I was mutuals with on Tumblr when I used to be hyperfixated on Twin Peaks for the longest time provided me the link to it. I can give that to you. You should read it. I haven't read it yet, but I know I need to, but I can provide that to you if you want. Fury's a good movie, just a really sad ending. I love movies with a sad ending, so I might check that out. Who knows? I might turn a new leaf on war movies and watch it. Not gonna lie, now that I mentioned visual novels, I keep thinking about this one dev who just frustrates the heck out of me. Oh no. Laura's story makes me cry. I feel like the diary would destroy me, lol. It unnerved me, honestly. Laura is one of my favorite characters in media of all time. I got the diary for Christmas a couple years ago. Like a year or two. It was a year ago. 2 years ago. Yeah, 2-ish years. God, I can't keep track of time. But I read it all the way through over the course of like a couple of days, and it's just, oh my god. There's so many passages in it that upset me so really badly. I was like, why the fuck am I reading this? It's fucked up. Oh my god, why is this happening to a 14-year-old? Laura is David Lynch's best character. Oh yes. I think Laura and Jeffrey from Blue Velvet are like my favorite David Lynch characters of all time, which is not a lot considering I haven't watched a lot of David Lynch's movies. I've only seen Mulholland Drive, Blue Velvet, and then Twin Peaks and Fire Walk with Me. I need to watch all the... I have like fucking 4 or 5 DVDs of David Lynch's movies, so... Well, devs more precisely, because God... does it suck when I get invested in one game by 2 developers and then all the other stuff is either mid garbage or just plain as something. That's so fair. Diane from Mulholland Drive also holds a special place in my heart though. Oh yeah, Diane is a very good character, yeah. If you like sad movies, Fury might be it. I do like sad movies. I do like to cry. So I'll have to look into it and see what... If there might be multiple movies with that same title, so I'll have to look into it and see if I can find the specific one you're talking about. People around me in the fandom just devour the slot regardless and refuse to critique it or criticize it because it'll hurt the devs' feelings. Ugh, I hate that. Yeah. I showed a friend Eraserhead the other day and I made the function uncomfortable. I need to rewatch Eraserhead. It's been so goddamn long. I forgot I watched Eraserhead. That's another one. I need to rewatch it. It's been such a long time since I've seen it. I think it's been like 5 years. 5-6 years since I've seen Eraserhead. I showed my mom the little booklet that came with my Criterion that I bought because I wanted to show her the origin of the floor for Twin Peaks in the Black Lodge. I showed her the picture of the original floor that came from Eraserhead, and she was like, oh my god, wait, no way. And I was like, yeah, that's where it came from. Whatever happened to giving indie devs constructive feedback so they can improve? Yeah. I kept saying, sometimes I feel like the Eraserhead baby. You feel me? Yeah. I love Eraserhead so much. I know, it's a good movie. I'm still... Jack Nance was dedicated to putting his hair up like that for such a fucking long time, and I gotta applaud him for it. Like, I could not keep my hair up for that long. I never finished Eraserhead because it made me uncomfortable, but because the site I was watching on it went down, and I never got to finish it. Oh, there's so many other sites you could use to watch it, honestly. There's not an issue. I'm sure you'll be able to find it again. But also, like, if it made you uncomfortable, then that's totally fair. You don't have to watch it again. But I personally really found it uncomfortable, but also compelling. It's like David Lynch back when he was just some guy before the brand or whatever. Yeah, because wasn't it like a student film? It started out as a student film and then it went on for too long. I gotta finish The Thing, 1982, though. I liked that movie. I never finished The Thing. I watched... oh my god, maybe like 10-15 minutes of it, and then I shut it off because it made me so viscerally uncomfortable. I did not like what it did to the dog. I did not like what it did to the dog whatsoever, and I just couldn't get over it, so I had to quit. I couldn't watch that movie all the way through, and I still will not go back to it. I will rewatch Hellraiser, but I will not rewatch or finish The Thing. Everyone in that movie was so committed to the art. Yes, they were. Committed to the bit. No, I said it didn't. Oh, it did. Oh, I'm sorry. I misread. Sorry. It didn't make me uncomfortable. I'm so sorry. I misread. See what I mean? My brain skips over words and I miss what I say sometimes. I'm so sorry. Yeah, then finish it if you feel like you can. It's good. I like it. I'm sorry. God, I'm having a bad time. He was given a grant by AFI to make it under the assumption it would be a 30-minute short. Oops. It was not a 30-minute short, in fact. It was much more than that. Hang on, I have to close my blinds. Because it's 8 o'clock now. Fellas, my friends, excuse me, I default to fellas all the time and I shouldn't. It's 8 o'clock now, guys, my friends. And we are talking about movies. I'm in my element. I'm feeling so much better than I was before. I'm still not doing completely great, but you know. I adore the thing, I'm sorry. You are totally fine. You like what you like, and I like what I like. And I don't like very visceral gore, which is very funny, because I rewatched Hellraiser not that long ago. And I still don't like Hellraiser. I'm gonna be so goddamn honest. I do not like Hellraiser. I don't like it because I don't like the plot. I think the effects in it are fine. Excuse me. I think the effects in it are fine, and I think it looks great as a movie, but honestly, it is, I don't like it. I just don't like it. I mean, I watched it. It was the second horror movie I ever watched, right after The Shining. And it defined my taste in horror movies forever. Witches I do not like. Gore. I don't like gore. I adore the movie. John Carpenter's adaptation of Who Goes There is just marvelous. Oh, it's an adaptation? I didn't know that. It's a shame that the film got shat on when it originally came out because people only wanted E.T. and his glowy wiener fingers. Oops. On my most recent watch of Eraserhead, I noticed Mary has a constant ear infection dripping out of her left ear, and now I can't unnotice it. Oh. I've been having issues with my left ear lately, so that was not a nice image. You help me and I'll try to help you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't necessarily need help. I'm okay. But I do appreciate the offer though. That's a very nice sentiment. Thank you. I do enjoy Hellraiser. It's like going to a harsh noise show in a high schooler's basement, LOL. That's fair. I don't know. I just can't get past it. My just need to not want to watch it again. I'm good for another decade. Because the last time I watched Hellraiser before my rewatch was like when I was 13. I just don't like it. I mean, Clive Barker is very good at weaving together a story, granted, but I'm just over here like, you know what, I think I'm okay. I've seen a lot of movies now. I don't need to watch it again. Yeah. One of my mutuals on Letterboxd watched The Man Who Fell to Earth recently. Hang on. Technically, it was a remake of The Thing from Another... That's true. That is what it is. A Thing from Another World. A film that was a very, very loose adaptation of Who Goes There. Filmed back in 1951. The title card in Carpenter's film was even a nod to it. Yes. I did know that. I just forgot. John Carpenter also wanted to change it back to The Thing from Another World, but it is unfortunately too late to do so. Yeah. Actually, I don't remember if I've talked to you guys about all the stuff I watched recently. There's a lot that I watched. I actually I think last stream I talked about the fact, talked about Milo and Otis briefly because I rewatched Babe for the first time in forever, and I really wanted to do a rewatch of Milo and Otis because it was one of my favorite childhood films growing up, and I did that not too long ago, and, well, oh my goodness, Milo and Otis, yeah, guys, it is not at all like I remembered it whatsoever. It's worse, even. I remember that movie. I have it on VHS. Guys, it is not at all what I remembered. It's worse. Worse? In a really bad way. I feel like if I summoned the Cenobites, I just keep saying, dude, your name is Pinhead, LOL, and they just get so embarrassed like Pennywise, and I'd strike them on the head 3 pitches. And the live puppy birth scene. Okay. Yeah, no, that was uncomfortable. The kitten and the puppy birth scene. Let me read you guys what I wrote on Letterboxd, because that will actually kind of give you an idea of how I feel about this movie. I gave it 2 stars. I watched it on the 13th. When was that? 13th of April? Good God, that was like 3 weeks ago. Anyway, so here's what I wrote on Letterboxd, because it was the first time I wrote a review in a really long time. So here's what I had to say. I must say, this was a bit of a hard watch for me. Back when I was a young child, I rewatched the hell out of this movie to the point of obsession. Even before today, I remembered scenes and dialogue so perfectly I could quote them near verbatim, which is true, and I still can do that. I was so in love with this movie, I even insisted my grandma's new kitten be named Milo instead of Pumpkin, which she didn't mind, but my mom did and got immensely mad at me for. Sorry, Mom. Which is also true. I did want, and that did happen. That cat lived for 15 years before it died. Bless him. Now that I'm older, watching this again, I feel a deep dread rather than nostalgic joy. Knowing what happened to the numerous dogs and cats used for the roles of Milo and Otis, I cringed whenever specific stunts were performed, such as Milo falling, quote-unquote, from the cliff or into the hole, or even the scene where Otis is stuck on a rock after the tide rolled in. Don't even get me started on the inclusion of deadly predators, such as bears. I know several dogs and cats were mauled by them, and that hurts my soul. Hearing the animals crying in distress while the narrator happily reads dialogue made me uncomfortable. Get that precious baby out of there, I kept internally screaming to myself, knowing full well the crew would not do such a thing. What I thought was going to be a fun trip down memory lane with such a beloved movie to me ended up backfiring into a nightmare that I'll be thinking about for weeks. I don't blame child me for holding this film so near and dear to my heart. They had no clue of the horrors that happened behind the scenes and just loved seeing animals be cute together in a semi-plotless movie. I'm sure I've got the VHS tape laying around my house somewhere. I know exactly where it is. But I think for now I'm fine with it remaining buried. Now I'm just left with this one lingering thought. How many other beloved movies with animals in them weren't as wholesome during production as was portrayed in the final product? Shame on the crew for letting this movie be made with the blood of innocent animals. I hope they never knew peace after making this. Yes, there was a video game that was made. Because this was an import from Japan, and it was originally called The Adventures of Chatran. Oh god, don't even get me started on the Japanese cut of this fucking movie, oh my god. It sucks worse considering Milo and Otis were portrayed by various kittens and pups over the course of the film. You could probably piece together why that is. Like, it's so inconsistent. There were so many, supposedly, this is alleged, this isn't, like, definitive, I hope I make that clear. This is not definitive, it is alleged. Many of the cats and dogs died as in over the course of filming this movie. Allegedly, there were many dogs and cats that were mauled by several of the bears that were used on set. A couple were pecked to death by seagulls. One was swallowed whole by a snake. One dog was frozen to death during a snowstorm scene. Because it's a pug and it doesn't have a large amount of fur, and it froze to death because of that. What else? Was there even more than that? Well, a couple cats drowned because they were put in scenes where they had to swim, and of course cats can't swim very well. And this is all alleged. There were investigations by like PETA or the ASPCA, and some of the organizations claimed there was fault. Some of them did not claim that there was fault. And so it's kind of up in the air. But this was in the era before the disclaimer that you see at the end of movies that include animals was put in, where it claims that no animals were harmed in the making of this film. This movie is the reason why that disclaimer is now in those movies. Allegedly. There might be other movies that also had animal abuse. I'm sure of that. There were plenty of movies that had animal abuse in them that didn't have that warning beforehand, but like I think after Milo and Otis they started putting it in more. Allegedly. I'm not sure of that timeline specifically, but yeah, it was a very visceral. Even then, there is indisputable evidence when you're watching that movie of just how distressed these animals were being put in this situation. You can hear them whining, and they try to cover it with like this little joyful, whimsical music, and it's distressing. But even in the like original cut of the film from Japan, there is no joyful music to cover it up. You just hear the animals being distressed. And even then, there's this scene that's completely cut from the American version of the movie, where Otis, who is confronting a bear to try to distract it from getting Milo, and the bear is like biting at the dog. Biting at it. In the original Japanese cut of the film, it is biting at the dog on its hind and pulling it underwater to try to drown it. That's not included in the American version of it. They cut that and shortened it in the American version, the American import. In the Japanese version, it's longer. There's also a scene in the that's in both versions where Milo is pinched by a crab on the nose, and it's crying and screaming and wailing for the thing to get off of it. There's also the scene where there's a snake. Kind of for the what I was talking about before about a cat getting eaten by a snake. That scene in specific. There's a lot of stuff. There's like an incident where they chuck the cat, supposedly chuck the cat off a cliff to make it seem like it was escaping seagulls, and it goes into like really harsh water. And then in the extended version of that scene in Japan, it shows the cat struggling to get out of the water. Oh my god, it's so viscerally upsetting. I was watching this the whole time and I was like, this is the movie that I loved watching growing up? What the fuck? Are you kidding me? I think in the original VOD, when I first brought it up, I was like semi-aware of what happened and that there was alleged animal abuse going on, and I didn't condone that, but I just didn't know to the full extent of what was going on. You know? Not until I started doing my research. Where's my Milo and Otis Lost episode confused? The creepypasta is just real. Allegedly. I don't want to get sued, but I'm pretty sure the director of that film is dead, and also was a zoologist, apparently. The director of Milo and Otis was a zoologist, and he allowed all that shit to happen, allegedly. The alleged stuff behind the scenes, and also the stuff you see on film. That's so disturbing, Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my god, I remember the bear scene, yeah. Oh, there's so many scenes that I could just so easily remember, even before my rewatch. I remembered the bear in the seaside cabin. I remembered the dog out in the middle of the water. The cat in the box on the river, the owl nest scene, like a whole bunch of stuff I could easily remember because I watched that movie like a billion times growing up. He should have known better. What the fuck? I know. You would think a guy who studied animals for a living would be more empathetic to the animals he's subjecting to be in a film. Like... For some reason, I just randomly remembered Westworld. I really gotta get around to watching that movie. I've heard of Westworld. I don't know if I want to watch that one. In any case, don't watch Milo and Otis, by the way. If you've never seen Milo and Otis, don't go watch it. It's not worth your time. If you want a cute kids movie that still holds up even now, that did not subject their animals to animal abuse and use puppets for specific scenes that were graphic, watch Babe. Babe still holds up, even now. Honestly, when I rewatched Babe, I had a great time. Farmer Hoggett, my beloved. That guy, I wish he was my grandpa. Actually, he reminded me of my grandpa a little bit, except my grandpa was not as nice. On my mom's side, not my dad's side. My grandpa on my dad's side died before I really had any full memories of him. But he reminded me a little bit of my grandpa, only in the sense that he was a farmer. My grandparents on my mom's side had a farm that had a few animals in it. They didn't have pigs. They had horses, they had a mule, they had cats that lived in the barn, and also just cats that would just, some lived in the house, some would walk around the property. They had dogs. They had a whole bunch of acreage to raise crops and stuff. I don't really remember much about the animals that lived there because they kind of like all passed away after a certain point or were sold off after a certain point in my youth, but I do remember when my grandma got Milo for the first time. His real name was Pumpkin, but I was like, that's Milo from Milo and Otis, and I wanted him to be named after Milo, and my grandma did not mind, but my mom was like, no, you can't just name a cat that's not yours. Anyway, watch Babe. Babe's a fun, cute little movie about a little pig that wants to be a sheepdog. It's cute. And also it's got puppets by the Jim Henson Company. We love the Jim Henson Company in this house. They're very good at their craft and making puppets. Oh my god. I could not tell the difference between the puppets and the real animals for a hot minute. I was like, oh my god, wait, is that the real? Wait, huh? Like, it tripped me up so many times. I love Babe. I think when I was younger, I preferred the sequel, Babe Pig in the City, over the first movie, but now that I'm older, I'm like, how could I ever like the second movie over the first? The first film is very good. I've seen Babe, very good film. It is such a good movie. I need to rewatch Gordy, which was the other pig movie that I was obsessed with growing up. I was obsessed with Babe, and I was obsessed with Gordy, but I was more obsessed with Gordy than I was with Babe. I would rewatch Gordy a million times, and I loved Gordy. I don't even really remember much of what Gordy is about, other than I think it's about this little piglet that's trying to chase down his parents and his siblings to make sure that they don't end up in the slaughterhouse. And he gets the help of, like, a country singer and his daughter, I think, from what I remember. It was a good film. I liked it a lot. I liked Gordy a lot. But I just have barely any memories of it, but I knew I loved it so much. I was obsessed with pigs growing up, and I was also obsessed with gorillas. Like, everyone thinks gorillas are scary. I think they're cute. I still hold that opinion. I mean, a lot of people don't like monkeys or chimpanzees or gorillas or any kind of primate because they think they're scary, they're kind of human-like and uncanny. And that's like completely fair assumption, but me, being a diehard animal lover that I am, I will go to bat for gorillas and primates as a whole forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. I love gorillas. I love them. They're so stupid. I love them. They're my primate bias. So many people have like one specific kind of primate that they kind of attach themselves to. Mine were gorillas. So, and they still are. I love gorillas. I really like movie and TV soundtracks. They're really underrated. That's so fair. I also like movie and TV soundtracks. They're very good. I love gibbons. Gibbons are so funky. I love those guys too. Yeah, there were 2 gorilla films I was obsessed with for the most part with. And neither of them were King Kong, before anyone says anything. I did not like King Kong growing up. I liked Mighty Joe Young, and I liked Buddy. Mighty Joe Young was the one that I rewatched the most, so I think I only watched Buddy a couple of times because I remember it scaring me, even though I was kind of obsessed with the movie poster for it. But Mighty Joe Young I watched over and over and over and over and over and over. Oh my god, I was obsessed with that movie. There were so many animal movies I watched, and yet I loved Mighty Joe Young so much, and I would watch it a million times over. Little Tiny Meat was glued to my fucking TV. I would pop the VHS tape out, rewind it in the VHS tape rewinder, and then stick it in the VCR and watch it, and just sit my ass down and sit in front of the TV forever. While my parents were like downstairs doing whatever. I would be upstairs in my little play area with the TV. I would just pop the thing in and I'd watch it. I knew how to work the VHS player, and I knew how to work, like, the VHS tape rewinder. So I would just pop in movies when I wasn't watching, like, Cartoon Network or, Disney Channel or any of those other TV stations. If I wasn't watching one of my favorite episodes of my TV shows, then I was popping in an animal movie, probably. Oh my god. There's so many movies I was obsessed with that I would rewatch a billion times growing up on my cute little stupid tube TV. I'm sure we all had movies when we were younger. If we had VHS tapes that we would rewind a billion times over and just rewatch on repeat. Or if we were younger, would pop in a DVD. I almost said CD. A DVD. I was of the generation that still had VHS tapes, so we were just getting into the era of DVDs. But I was grateful enough to be able to sit in with the era of VHS tapes for a while. I have a fuck ton of them in my house. They are sat in little cabinets upstairs. Half of them are my parents', half of them are mine. I have a whole collection of Pokemon VHS tapes from the original, like, oh, was it Indigo League? The original one? I think. I have VHS tapes from the original Pokemon anime, that I got pretty cheap at a thrift store from when I went shopping with my grandma and my mom once upon a time. It's also when I found some Digimon VHS tapes that I was obsessed with, and it made me obsessed with Digimon. I also have a bunch of VHS tapes that I stole from my grandma, and she didn't care. I just would take them, and she would let me because she wanted me to have them. I have 2 versions of The Lion King too, because I stole one from my grandma, and then I got a version of it for Christmas. So I have one with 2 different covers, and I hate the one I got for Christmas's cover. It's so ugly that I prefer the one I got from my grandma. And I would only watch that version of it. I think I liked The Lion King 2 more than I liked The Lion King. Which is sacrilege, but listen, I was obsessed with Kovu. Leave me alone. Anyway, I don't want to get too in depth on Disney stuff. I was a hardcore Disney fan growing up. I had so many VHS tapes of so many Disney movies. I watched them on repeat endlessly. I watched Sleeping Beauty a whole bunch. That was my favorite Disney princess movie, and then I would watch Tarzan. That was my favorite Disney movie as a whole. I separated them. I was like, this is Disney princesses, this is Disney. General Disney. And I loved Tarzan, and I still, part of me loves Tarzan, and always will. Sleeping Beauty, though, shaped me as a person. Don't ask me why I liked Sleeping Beauty so much. I don't fucking know why I like Sleeping Beauty so much. There's something whimsical about it and romantic that I just could never get over. Nothing has been able to replicate it for me since. I hated all the other shit, so. Anyway, my brain hurt. I'm so sorry. Rest your brain a little a little while if you need to. Sorry, I'm just. I watched a lot of movies growing up. Just wonder why I'm such a movie lover now. Oh my god, I didn't even tell you guys about this freaking Spanish horror thriller film that I watched that I was kind of obsessed with. I think I should go to bed. It's 11:27. Yeah, you should go to bed, my friend. It's late, and it's almost midnight for you. Please go get some sleep. Take care of yourself. You always watch the VOD if you want to catch up on what we talk about after this. So, because I'm gonna go on for maybe another hour, and then I'm probably gonna hit the hay. So we'll see. I got stuff I can talk about for days. Okay, good night, everyone. See you, folks. Good night, my friend. Have some good rest. Thank you for joining us. It was nice talking with ya. It's always nice to see you in streams. Pleasure seeing you, yes. Alright, let's see. Movies. I literally could talk forever about movies. It's crazy. I should be a movie reviewer. I should. I would love to do that. Oh my god. I think that's always what I've wanted to do since I started streaming on my YouTube channel, was I one day want to be a movie reviewer. I would, like, I wrote scripts about movies that I want to talk about in specific to make YouTube videos out of, but like that's so I can't do it, alas. I don't think I'm equipped for it. I don't think I'm equipped to make YouTube videos. I maintain Tangled Thumbs Up and still goes crazy today. I don't know. I'm not gonna touch Disney properties if I can help it with a 10-foot pole, just because of like all the shit with them supporting Israel and the fucking genocide and stuff. I don't feel comfortable. I've never felt comfortable supporting Disney after a certain point. You know, it was initially just them just kind of making one token gay character they can easily write out for like international releases, but then it came to a point where it was like they mistreat their animators, they don't give proper pay. Well, they've always mistreated their animators, but this especially was like, yeah, no, Never want to touch a Disney property ever again in my goddamn life. Yeah, that's valid. Yeah, that's why I also just want to avoid talking about Disney stuff as a whole and gushing about it, because that gives the impression that I still care about Disney. I don't. I have a subset of nostalgia for the Disney movies that I watched growing up that I loved, but I would never watch them again, and I will never watch them again. I don't need to. I have so many other movies and avenues of stuff to entertain me that aren't Disney. I can get any love and validation, I guess, of movies from other avenues. I am losing all sense of being able to string a sentence together coherently. Good lord. But you know what I mean. I have found and loved so many movies that are not Disney movies, and they're all great. Let's see, what other movies? I was briefly going to talk about the Spanish horror thriller that I watched, but I don't know if I have the energy to talk about it, but I love it, though, so much. It's called Tesis, I believe you say it in Spanish, or Thesis. It was great. I found it on Shudder. I watched it on a whim, and I'm obsessed with how weird the love triangle is in that movie, and also how much of a freak all three of the main characters are. It's a good movie, and I was obsessed with it for a hot minute. I watched the lesser-known Ghibli film Ocean Waves, and it was not that good. I liked the weird queer coding between the main character and his best friend. That was unintentional. And then I rewatched Spirited Away after having not watched it for over a decade, and it made me cry. I love Spirited Away. It's one of my favorite Ghibli films of all time. I hold it very near and dear to my heart. And I want to watch it a million times over. I love it dearly. It is a very good film. It makes me cry every time. And I love Chihiro. I love Haku. I love all the characters in that movie. They're very good. I also feel bad because I have to watch the dubbed version of that movie because that's what I'm used to. Watching the original Japanese version of it, I can't sit with it for whatever reason. It just doesn't sit with me. I have to watch the dubbed version of it, even if the shrill voice of Chihiro is kind of annoying. And the dubbing doesn't feel nearly as good now, in hindsight. But I have to. I can't do it any other way. Let's see. Have you seen When Marnie Was There? Of course I've seen When Marnie Was There. That's like my ultimate favorite Ghibli movie. It doesn't rank above Spirited Away, of course, but it's like a close second. I love When Marnie Was There. I'm just upset about how the whole thing plays out. Freaking queer baited me. Spirited Away is one of my favorite movies of all time ever, full stop. I wish my boyfriend was a river. I wish my boyfriend was the spirit of a river that saved me from drowning when I was a baby. Yeah, I wish my boyfriend was the spirit of the Kohaku River. I wish my boyfriend was Haku. Yeah. Yeah, you mentioned queer baiting and I immediately thought of Marnie. Yep. They queer baited the fuck out of us on accident, I think. I don't think it was intentional that movie was supposed to be the way it was. I don't know. It's an adaptation of a book, but I'm just like, why is it so gay? And then I watched it. I wanted to watch it when it was coming out in theaters. Back when it came out. But I never got around to it. I'm so mad at that. I never did get around to doing that. I was also 17 at the time, so I didn't have my own income or a car. So, but, God, I love When Marnie Was There, though. Oh, it just kind of trips me up, though, every time I watch it, because one of the characters has my dead name. Great movie, though, and the way it depicts depression feels so true to my personal experiences. Yes. Anna, my beloved, you are so actually me. She kind of looked like me. She kind of looks like how I did at, from 15 to 16. Maybe even 17, 18. She kind of looks like me with the fucking haircut and everything. Not the eye color though, but she is very close to how I look, or how I looked. I don't have short hair anymore. I grew my hair out, but she also looks like how I did at 14. Damn, we just both looked like Anna, huh? Interesting. That's really funny. I need to rewatch when Marnie was there. I tried to, same day I rewatched Spirited Away, I tried to rewatch Ponyo, and I think I only got 8 minutes into that movie, and I just was so tired I had to stop, and I haven't picked it back up since, and I'm so upset at myself because I also really love Ponyo. Ponyo was the first Ghibli movie I ever watched because my 4th grade teacher showed it to us over the span of a couple of days, and it was great. I was obsessed with it when I first saw it. I was like, what is this? Why does it look so pretty? I was so enthralled by Ponyo growing up. Oh my god. I still am. I love Ponyo. I need to watch it all the way through though. Also the freaking youngest Jonas brother voiced Sosuke. Frankie Jonas voiced Sosuke, and I was like, what? Excuse me? Wait, huh? Frankie Jonas? Okay. In the dub, I mean. What the fuck? Yeah, I know, I saw that, and I was like, Frankie Jonas? Really? Wait, huh? How did I not know that? I didn't know that either until I, like, was reading through the credits to see who did what voices, and I was like, wait, huh? Frankie Jonas? Hold on a second. It's kind of like, I mean, it caught me off guard the first time when I watched Arrietty, that Bridget Mendler was the voice of Arrietty. And what was his name? Oh, the guy that plays Justin in Wizards of Waverly Place was the boy. I was like, oh my god, wait, it's a reunite, like they're reunited. Oh my god. I love Ghibli films though. My ex and I watched Mononoke not that long ago, and we didn't really like it that much. I think plot-wise, animation-wise, Princess Mononoke was really great. It was a beautiful film, and it was very good in its messaging of talking about environmentalism and, like, the, like, pollution. Very prevalent theme in a lot of, Hayao Miyazaki's films as a whole, especially, like, the horrors of, like, World War II, and environmentalism messages talking about, you know, how we need to take care of the environment. Very prevalent in Princess Mononoke. I just think, like, I didn't like the love, story between those two characters in it. I think all the rest of the stuff was interesting, but that in particular just was, like, meh. But also, I need to rewatch it again now that I'm not with my ex anymore. Just so it doesn't kind of cloud my view. Rewatched Howl's Moving Castle with a friend recently, and we screamed with joy every time Calcifer was on screen. Oh my god, Howl's Moving Castle. I have that movie on Blu-ray. I have My Neighbor Totoro and Howl's Moving Castle both on Blu-ray. I love Howl's Moving Castle. Did you know there's actually a prequel movie that's not released outside of Japan that's in, like, the Studio Ghibli museum, I think? That's a prequel to Howl's Moving Castle that talks about Howl when he was younger, allegedly. There's, like, screen caps of it that I saw not that long ago, and I was like, wait, what the fuck? How come I didn't know that? Well, the fuck I know I didn't know that. I didn't know that either! I learned that not that long ago when I was scrolling through the Spirited Away tag on Tumblr to look for some, like, cute fan art and stuff. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Wait, hold on. No fucking way they did that. I mean, I know Howl's Moving Castle is, like, a adaptation of the book series, so I don't know, there might be some Howl lore in those books, but, like, I did not know that Ghibli did a fucking prequel, like a little short film of Howl that led up to the events that led him to how the original movie started, or like how we got to the point in the original movie, if that makes sense. I'm trying not to spoil it for people who haven't seen Howl's Moving Castle. I'm trying to be as vague as I possibly can. But, yeah. Let's see. Oh, God. I'm trying to think of all the Ghibli movies I've seen. I've seen Arrietty, when Marnie was there, Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle, My Neighbor Totoro, and now officially Ocean Waves. I've not seen the rest of them though. I need to watch more. Oh wait, Mononoke. I haven't seen a whole lot of Ghibli films in truth. I need to watch more of them though. I need to watch like Porco Rosso or Kiki's Delivery Service and from Tales from Earthsea and Only Yesterday and Whispers of the Heart and The Cat Returns and all those fucking movies that I can name that I haven't seen. I need to. I haven't gotten around to it. I don't know why. I just haven't. I'm waiting to watch Kiki's Delivery Service though with Leo, because we promised we would watch Kiki's Delivery Service together. We still haven't freaking called each other at all. I want to though. I want to talk to him so goddamn bad because we've been wanting to call for ages and watch movies together. And the first movie that he said we would watch together, or promised we would watch together, was Kiki's Delivery Service, and I want to watch it with him. So I'm trying to hold back from watching it. I really need to watch Kiki's Delivery Service too. I know. I've been avoiding it for so long. Because I really do not think it will be for me. Or I've thought for so long it wouldn't be for me. But I don't know. I used to see the freaking ads for it though. Before most of the movies that I watched. So I have like the vision of the ad for it in my head. Like I can see it. And hear the music that plays with it. So viscerally. But I've never seen Kiki's Delivery Service. Everyone's like, oh my god, you've never seen Kiki's Delivery Service? You need to. And I'm like, I know. I need to see a lot of Ghibli films. I have so many I still haven't watched. I still haven't seen or what was it, Grave of the Fireflies? My ex said not to watch that one because it's upsetting. And I'm like, I know it's upsetting, but I still need to watch it for completionist's sake. Like, I can understand and, like, I know it's about the horrors of, what was it, World War II? Is that one about World War II as well? I don't remember. It might be about... No, I think it's World War II, because that one was... Was Pearl Harbor World War I or World War II? I don't remember. I think it was World War I. I'm like... I should know this. This is basic history, and I feel stupid, and I'm just like, I could look it up right now. I should actually do that. No, well... World War II. Okay. It was World War II. Thank you. I always forget! Not because it's like, I don't care, necessarily. I don't care. Because, like, what inevitably happened to the Japanese people in World War II is disgusting and horrific. So, like... I care more about that and the internment camps. I just get it mixed up and I can never remember if World War II was 1941 or not. Because I always think World War I is in the 40s. Dudes that are super into World War II, massive red flag to me, are, yeah. Anyone who's into, like, World War II stuff, and I'm just like... Either that or the people who are super obsessed with, like, JFK... conspiracy theories. I'm just like, okay. We're gonna avoid you. What was I gonna say? Oh, Grave of the Fireflies. I was like, what was I even talking about that? I brought up World War II. Grave of the Fireflies. I know it's upsetting. I know, but I will watch it probably anyway. I've watched so many fucking upsetting movies that it's just like, yeah, okay. Not that I don't cry. I do cry whenever I watch upsetting movies. If it gets me particularly. I don't know. It's just when people tell me to, like, avoid specific things unless I specifically ask for people to tell me if there's gonna be something that would upset me. When people are like, oh, you shouldn't watch this. This is upsetting. I'm like, okay. I'm gonna watch it anyway. It's like it incentivizes me to watch it more. Because, like, I'm like, okay. Because usually people are exaggerating because most people haven't seen a lot of viscerally upsetting stuff like I have over my years of watching specific media online. Not even just movies, but just, like, horror stuff. Horror YouTubers in general that like to talk about real world events. I'm just like, not desensitized per se. I guess I'm just used to it. But it still upsets me. I'm just not, like, completely backing away from it, if that makes sense. I embrace it, almost. Except for the really fucked up stuff, I'm like, ugh. I don't know. I don't know what I'm rambling on about. There, like, I don't know. Sorry. I'm losing my mind. How did I land on upsetting movies all of a sudden? I don't know. People will be like, this film was fucked up and disturbing, and then it's Hereditary or Suspiria. The most basic shit ever. Get back to me when you've seen Salo or 120 Days of Sodom. Get back to me when you've seen those, and then maybe we can talk. Get back to me when you've seen fucking, No Child of Mine, or like any other fucked up, disturbing film. No, I Spit on Your Grave or whatever. Get back to me. Get back to me. Like, those are very mainstream horror films. Honest to God. Get back to me when you've seen Pink Flamingos. All the way through, and you didn't skip the scene with fucking Miss Divine licking dog shit off the ground. I still haven't seen Pink Flamingos, though, to be fair, because if I see Pink Flamingos and I see that part, I will throw up. So, I've been very cautious. I do need to watch John Waters' catalog of films. He's next on my roster of filmmakers to watch movies from. I haven't gotten around to it, though, but I do need to watch it, but I am not going to start with Pink Flamingos. I think I'm going to start with all his other films and then work my way up to Pink Flamingos. Because, like, I don't think Pink Flamingos necessarily is disturbing. It's really weird from what I understand. But, like, there are some parts of it that just might make me actually sick, because there's just stuff that I get easily, like, queasy with. So I'm just, like, taking it easy. Like, I don't want to see Divine lick dog shit. Or eat it. I think she eats it, not licks it. I've only seen Pink Flamingos. I haven't seen any of his other works. We're going opposite directions. That's so funny. I haven't seen any of his other films. I need to, though. I watched a documentary not that long ago about Divine, the drag queen that he featured in a lot of his films. And it was just the most sad, upsetting thing I have ever watched. Because it went through, like, her entire life and the whole reason why she even became a drag queen to begin with. And it was, it was good, but it was just sad. Just made me appreciate Divine and John Waters even more. Are there any other fucked up, disturbing movies that, like, we could name drop to be, like, get back to me? I think a whole genre of, like, extreme horror. I'm not even gonna name, like, a Serbian film, because obviously that's, like, a default. It's, like, I don't know. That one's, like, whatever. It's just, it was made to be disturbing on purpose, so. I rewatched the Suspiria remake recently, and I was like, wow, this is kind of mid, actually. A fail for Luca Guadagnino. Whoopsies. I don't know. I never finished the Suspiria remake. I got to one specific part. I think I've told this story before. I got to one specific part of it, and it made me so sick. I couldn't finish my dinner, and I went and threw up right afterward. And so I've never been able to finish that movie. I'm afraid it's gonna happen again. Like, it legitimately made me so sick I had to go throw up. And I hadn't thrown up in years, and now I went, it was crazy. I think I know which scene you're talking about. I wasn't even that far in the movie, I think. It was, like, some part of it where one of the women's bones were just cracking in a room full of mirrors, and it made me sick. I thought I could handle it. I normally am pretty good about handling that kind of stuff in movies, especially because I can easily differentiate what's real and what's not in movies a lot of the time. And I knew that that wasn't real and it was special effects, or they were just using, like, a ballet dancer in a lot of parts, or a gymnast. I can't remember. Like, someone who's easily very flexible. But yeah, I don't know what about it. I know it's a common occurrence with that movie where people had to stop at a certain point and it made them sick. On my rewatch, when I got to that scene, I was like, wow, I hope there's a narrative reason they're subjecting me to that shit, and then there wasn't, and I was like, oh. Yeah, sometimes filmmakers just do stuff for the sake of doing stuff because they want to. I don't even think I finished the original Suspiria, to be entirely honest with you. I think I only got part of the way through that movie too, and I was watching it with a friend who's no longer a friend of mine now, and we both were bored by it and just like gave up on it, which is a shame. I do eventually want to go back to that original version of Suspiria and finish it. The original Suspiria goes crazy, like it's kind of the opposite of the remake in every way. I know. Is that Mario? That's not Mario Bava. That's Dario Argento. I mix up Mario Bava and Dario Argento all the fucking time because they're the same person in my head. They make Gallo films or Gallo films or however the fuck you pronounce that word. They both make those types of films, and Mario Bava I know is inspired by Dario Argento, kind of like studied under him. And Mario Bava's films are just so mid. Oh, they're so mid-tier, dude. They're so boring. And then I went and watched Deep Red, or not Deep Red. What the fuck is that movie called? That Dario Argento made that everyone loves that I did not care for. What the fuck was that movie called? It's not Deep Red. That's a whole different movie I'm thinking of. Whoops. What is it fucking called? No, it is called Deep Red. The fuck? I was thinking of something else then. And then I watched Deep Red and I was like, oh, this is just fucking Mario Bava light. This is where the origin of Mario Bava came from, and I got bored watching it and I did not like it. I just think Gallo is not for me. I watched The Bird with the Crystal Plumage, and I think that was my first Gallo film and I hated it. Because I was like, oh my god, psychotic woman. Whoa, wow, who would have thought? I couldn't turn my brain off while watching it. It's just crazy colors and rad synth music for 120 minutes. That's crazy. I did also watch Phenomena, which is the other Dario Argento film that a lot of people like. And it has the girl from Labyrinth in it. Oh, the main character of Labyrinth, that girl. It was okay. I was like, okay, there's shit going on with bugs, and there's a chimpanzee made. Okay, sure. I was not a huge fan of it. I just don't think I'm a Gallo enjoyer. I don't really connect with Argento's other works, to be honest. That's so fair. I don't connect with Dario Argento as a whole. I just don't connect with Gallo. I just don't. I'm not a Gallo girly. Why am I calling myself girly so much lately? Oh my god, wait, did I ever tell you guys I watched Rebel Without a Cause finally? I don't think I did. I watched Rebel Without a Cause finally after a million fucking years. I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. I went into it with a certain expectation that it was going to be the most dull movie ever, and that I was gonna hate it, and then I was gonna be like, okay, and this is the movie that skyrocketed James Dean's career upward. Okay, but then I went into it and I watched it and I saw him and his performance. It was great. It was great. Natalie Wood also is really great, as always. Like, she's just a good actress as a whole. Oh my god, I haven't seen that. It's great. I loved it. It had the throuple of all time in it. Look, I say Ferris Bueller's Day Off has the throuple of all time in it with Bueller, his girlfriend, and his best friend, those three. Truthfully, I think the OG throuple of all time is the one in Rebel Without a Cause. Because what are those guys' names? Jim, and then, like, what are the other two? Jim, Judy, and Plato. That's right. Jim and Judy. I also have not seen Ferris Bueller. Oh. If you had to pick a movie from the repertoire of oh my god, what is that fucking guy's name? Hang on. What is that director's name? I'll get it. Hold on. If you had a John Hughes. If you had to pick a John Hughes movie out of his whole repertoire to watch, don't even bother with The Breakfast Club. Just watch Ferris Bueller. It is good. Probably his best work to date. Ever, probably. John Hughes made flops. All of his movies are flops. Even The Breakfast Club. Ferris Bueller is the only one that sticks out and is good. Anyway, I liked Rebel Without a Cause. It was very good. Very sad. And unnecessary. It also has an instance of the monstrous queer. Because Plato is very queer-coded in his affection for Jim. Very much he wants to be with Jim, which is why I say him, Plato. So Plato, Jim, and Judy are like the throuple of all time. They're really cute together, especially when they break into the abandoned mansion together. Oh, they're so cute. Oh my god, they're so cute. And they're all flirting with each other. It's great. I dislike Breakfast Club, lol. They de-gothed her. It was fucked up. Yep. I don't like The Breakfast Club. I liked it when I first watched it. Now I'm older, I'm like, that movie fucking sucked. Why did I even like that? Anyway, watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It'll be worth it. It's good. It's good. Unironically, I think Ferris Bueller is the reason why I'm poly. I was like, damn, I wish I had what those three had. Well, I mean, like, thinking about it now, not when I was younger. When I was younger, I was like, man, I wish Bueller and his best friend got together. Now that I'm older, I'm like, dude, I wish all three of them would get together. Anyway, what was I thinking about? All the other movies that I watched. There's only one movie that I hesitate to want to talk about because of just how controversially awful it is. But I guess I gotta talk about it. And that's Leon the Professional. Leon the Professional. Yes, I watched Leon the Professional, even though I know what people are saying about that movie. And I know why people don't like that movie. And yes, I don't like that movie either. I do not like Leon the Professional. Yeah. I know about the director and his history. And I know what happened to Natalie Portman, after the release of that movie as well. And it was because of that information that I knew that that was the only thing I knew about that movie going in, and then I watched it. It was on Tubi for free, so I popped it on one day and I was like, whatever, I'm having a rough day, I'm gonna put on this movie and see what it's about. I had to stop it midway through because I had to go to bed to go to work, and then I put on the rest of it to finish it after a while. I think it was the worst mistake ever. I should have just stopped watching that movie altogether. I watched that movie when I was like 13, and the only thing I remember about it was Gary Oldman shit-talking Beethoven. Yeah. What was it? He hated Beethoven, he likes Bach, because he had spunk. Gary Oldman in that movie is very good, I will say. He's very good at being awful. He's very good as the main villain of that movie, I will say. I will give him my hats off to that guy. Natalie Portman is also out-acting everyone in that fucking movie. She is so wickedly talented, even though she's probably like, she was like 14, I think. Not even. She was really young when they filmed that movie. I think she was 14, 13, 14. She was really young. But she was out-acting the fuck out of everybody in that movie. It was great. I loved her. All the rest of it made me wildly uncomfortable, though. Why the hell did they have this child dress up as Marilyn Monroe and a whole bunch of other sex icons and parade around in like a bra? And also talk about the fact that she was in love with Leon. Like, we could have had a cute movie about a man adopting this child that came from an abusive household where her parents were killed because of the father's carelessness in being a drug dealer. And then he taught her how to be an assassin. And it's like this cute little parental, like, found family kind of oriented movie. It could have been that, but no. The fucking director had to go and be a pedophile and be like, actually, she's in love with him and wants to marry him and gets sexually aroused at the thought of him. Ugh. Ugh. And he, her, and I'm like, gross. Oh my god, dude. Blah, I want to bleach my fucking brain after thinking about that movie. I recently watched Perfect Blue and Black Swan back to back, and I was like, dude, what the fuck? That's the same movie. Dude, Perfect Blue is the better version of Black Swan. I hated Black Swan on my rewatch. I watched that movie almost 10 years ago now. Probably like 9 at this point. I watched it back in like 2014, 2015. Maybe it's over a decade now. I watched it that one time, and I thought it was great, and then I rewatched it with my ex not that long ago, and I did not like it. Because it felt like Whiplash, but ballet. But also, it was just the director's very poorly disguised, thinly veiled idea of getting Natalie Portman to make out with Mila Kunis, who was not real the whole time. I adore Perfect Blue and think Black Swan was just okay. Black Swan is the inferior Whiplash. That's what I mean. I was talking, when we watched that, my ex and I kept making the joke the whole time of like, what if the guy, the teacher from Whiplash, was the ballet instructor? And he was just there judging all the ballerinas and was just... Every so often we would go like, not my tempo. It was the funniest thing ever to me. Not my tempo. What are you doing over there? Your pirouette's off. Twinkle toes. Now get on the fucking shoes and get twirling. I don't want to use the same kind of language that he uses because he is just slurring it up in that fucking movie, but it is great. I love you, J.K. Simmons. You did such a good job in that movie, infuriating the fuck out of me. That movie, Whiplash, gives me such a headache, but I love it at the same time. It is so good. Why do you suppose I just hurled a chair at your head, Nina? You want to take a guess? Oh my god, I said I would never rewatch Whiplash ever again because of just how much it made me feel like I was having a heart attack. But I kind of have the itch to want to rewatch it again. I love that fucking movie. I just think about it occasionally and all the little bits about it. What is that fucking line from it that I laugh at every single time? Hold on. Hang on. It's in my list of things that I watched. It's in a review. Fuck off, Johnny Utah. Turn my pages, bitch. Fuck off, Johnny Utah. I've turned my pages, bitch. I think about that all the fucking time. Oh. Are you gonna be rushing, dragging, or are you gonna be on my fucking time? Fuck, I need to rewatch Whiplash. Stop, you are freaking propagandizing me to want to rewatch Whiplash. Like, oh, my second time watching it, maybe it won't be so bad. That's a fucking lie, and you know it, me. Except, oh my god, I had to pause it at one point because they mentioned fucking John Lennon and Paul McCartney, and I was like, fuck, why do so many movies mention those two? Because they're the most popular band on the fucking planet, but like, god. It just fucking struck me. I was like, Beatles jump scare out of nowhere. I'm upset. Say it louder! I can quote that movie front to back. I love Whiplash. I'm so upset at myself I took so long to watch that movie. It's great. I've known about it for years. I've known about Whiplash forever. Like, when people were talking about La La Land and talking about Damien Chazelle, who is the director, or is it Chappelle? Is it Chazelle? I think it's Chazelle. It is Chazelle. We were talking about Damien Chazelle, like, directing that movie and being like, oh, it's nothing like Whiplash. I was like, fuck, you're right, I need to watch Whiplash. Because I watched La La Land before I watched Whiplash. And I have to say, Whiplash is the superior movie. La La Land sucks. I don't like La La Land. I love Whiplash. It's such a heart attack of a movie. It's great. It's, oop, there goes my footstool. It's starting to break. God, I'm trying to fix it. It's cracking. It's falling apart. I've had this thing forever and it's so cheap it's breaking. I see, I don't really fuck with La La Land, but I love Whiplash. See? It's like Damien Chazelle was not trying to go for a similar feeling to Whiplash. He wanted to try something different, but it just, like, flopped. I'm like, bitch, just make another Whiplash. I want to fucking have a heart attack when you make your movies, man. I don't want to be bored. Make me... Put J.K. Simmons in your movie again, please. Get J.K. Simmons to be angry again and you will sell me. That's all I need. Whiplash is like having a panic attack for an hour and a half, straight hour and a half, yep. Yes. The music in Whiplash is just so much better. Oh my god, I love the soundtrack for Whiplash so goddamn bad. I had the freaking, him hitting the freaking cymbals stuck in my head forever after watching that movie. It was just stuck. I could hear the soundtrack in my nightmares. It was crazy. I just have Whiplash. Like, stuck in my head. The soundtrack will occasionally come to me and I hear the freaking drums. And I'm just like, oh my god. No. No. Oh my god. It's great. I could gush about Whiplash forever. It's so good. What did I even give it on? Oh, I gave it a 5. 5 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd. Because of course I did. I love that fucking movie so bad. Very good. You know what else? I need to rewatch Brick. I'm just looking through my old reviews and I'm like, dude, I need to rewatch Brick. I loved that movie, but my ex hated it and it kind of colored my own view of it. J.K. Simmons makes those Spider-Man movies 5 stars for me. He just brings the score up by being himself in it. Oh yeah. I've never seen any of the Spider-Man movies. Actually, that's a lie. I think I saw parts of it growing up, like all 3 of them. But I remember J.K. Simmons being James... Is it J. Jonah Jameson. Fuck, his name is alliterative. I thought that J.K. Simmons' name was J. Jonah Jameson for the longest fucking time. But I love him. I want pictures of Spider-Man. I love J.K. Simmons. He's great. Anyway, I need to rewatch Brick. I have the DVD of it because I bought it at the secondhand bookstore because they also sell DVDs there. I want to rewatch it. It was great. I just feel like it could have been more like a TV series as opposed to a movie because there was so much context I was missing from it, but I loved it. It was great. It was fast-paced. It was like a heart attack. It's like Twin Peaks, Diet Twin Peaks, but without all the elements of David Lynch, and they just focus solely on the crime part of it. But there is also some weird shit going on as well, and it's also Midwestern because they say yins in it, and I know that that's Midwestern. There's some places in the Midwest where they say yins instead of you. It's great. Also, pretty good role from Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Look, I will still say till the end of the earth that Joseph Gordon-Levitt's best role he has ever done was in Mysterious Skin as Neil. Sure, you can back me up on that one, Leah. But it is probably the best role he's ever done in all of the movies I have ever seen him in, which is not that many, which I've only seen him in 10 Things I Hate About You, Mysterious Skin, and Brick. I think that's all I've seen him in, other than the music video where he talks about wanting to fuck a mom. Fuck Moms by Shmuel Yoho. Every line of dialogue that J.K. Simmons has, is gas fire flames. Yes, it is. Yes, he is mesmerizing in Mysterious Skin. He is! He's so fucking compelling. I'm like, oh my god, Greg Araki, what did you do to make him that compelling? What did he do? How did he direct him so well? I want to know. Because every single role I've seen him in, he's either okay. But this movie, I'm like, holy fuck. Yeah, every other role I've seen him in, he's been fine. But in Mysterious Skin, I'm like, wow, he's like an actual actor. What the fuck? I know. Has every director that he's ever worked with just been so incredibly mid-tier that they just can't bring out his goddamn full potential like Greg Araki can? Greg Araki unlocked something in his brain that he got him to play Neil. It was crazy. Every single time I watch Mysterious Skin, I just want to watch the parts with Neil. I don't care much for Brady Corbet's parts, even though I also love that character and I relate to him a lot, but I'm just like, no, I just want to watch Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Just keep him on screen for a hot minute there. Also, oh my god, what's her face? The one that just died recently. What's her name? I can't remember that actress's name. I loved her too. She's just a good actress in general. She did such a great job in that movie. And in other roles. I haven't seen her in anything else really, but I know she's in like Buffy and Harriet the Spy and all those other stuff. God, I can't think of her name right now. Hold on. Everyone pause as I try to figure out her name. Michelle Trachtenberg. Is it Trachtenberg? I feel bad I can't pronounce her last name, but Michelle. Yeah, her. She was great. Yeah, Michelle Trachtenberg. She's great. It's a shame that she died so young. She's an incredibly great actress from what I understand. Also, yeah, the Neil plot is just far more interesting to me. I need to get the book. I need to read the book because I know it's an adaptation. Mysterious Skin is an adaptation of a book. I need to get the book and read it. I've been meaning to for like a long time now. I just have never gotten around to it. There's so many movies on this list I want to rewatch because I watched them with my ex and I want to take the connotation away. Let's see. Grand Budapest Hotel I kind of want to rewatch. I liked it the first time for the most part, but there was like a specific plot point in it that I didn't care much for, but I would love to rewatch that movie. Paris is Burning I want to rewatch because I watched it with my ex and she did not like it for some reason. I just think she doesn't like drag as a whole, which is... I could be misinterpreting that, but that's what I was like, it felt like to me. She didn't really like drag, which I was not a happy camper about. What else? Tom at the Farm, or Tom à la Ferme. I need to rewatch that one by myself because I watched it with my ex, and I love Tom à la Ferme. Probably the best movie that Xavier Dolan's ever done. Rewatch the Creep movies because I watched the Creep TV show and I loved it, and I love Creep. My ex did not like either of the Creep movies. To be fair, I'm not a huge fan of Creep 2, but I did love Creep 1. It was great. What else? Possum. My ex did not like Possum, and I want to rewatch Possum by myself to see if I actually liked it or not. Bound. I need to take away the connotation of the two of us being Corky and Violet, so I want to rewatch that movie by myself. I loved Bound, so I want to take away the connotation with her and watch it by myself. I've already rewatched The Doom Generation by myself. Take it away from her. Love Doom Generation. Love the Polly in it. She did not, obviously, because she liked making jokes about Polly, and I did not. We need to watch Synecdoche, New York by myself. She did not like Synecdoche, New York. Also, Doubt. She loved Doubt. I liked Doubt too, but I need to watch it by myself. There's just a lot of movies that I want to watch by myself. I've already rewatched Possession by myself a few times now. She did not like Possession. I love Possession. It's a very good, fucked up movie. Sorry, it sounds like I'm bitching. I'm gonna be so honest. I've never seen any Wes Anderson. I love Moonrise Kingdom. That's probably my favorite Wes Anderson movie. It's very good and also not Orientalist, because a lot of Wes Anderson's movies are very centered in Orientalism. She didn't like Paris is Burning. Yeah, she didn't really like it because I don't know. We didn't watch documentaries together, and I love documentaries. That was the only documentary we ever watched, and the only reason I got her to watch it with me because it was gay. That was the only reason she wanted to watch it with me. Because if it wasn't gay, she didn't really want part of it, and I was like, okay. Creep movies are great fun. They are great fun. I love Creep. Very good. I liked Possum. I thought it was okay. I need to watch it again because I don't remember shit about it. She thought it was boring. I love the Doom Generation so much. Set design was unparalleled. I know. I love Greg Araki, and Doom Generation is very good. Look, okay. I don't want to delve into mine and my ex's relationship. I have a feeling that she might be watching my VODs occasionally because she's worried I might be talking about her behind her back, which is unhealthy. Occasionally. I don't think she really cares much nowadays. She has me blocked on Tumblr. After she brought up the situation with Anons harassing her, she blocked me on Tumblr, so I can't talk to her again, which is whatever. You know, I told everybody on here that we parted unamicably. I'm not at liberty to discuss, and I will not ever discuss the reason specifically for our parting. That is none of the public's concern. Like, not even whatsoever. You guys don't need to know whatsoever about that. There's just little things I guess I can occasionally bring up. But, when it came to movies specifically, and I'm not afraid to talk about this specifically because this was just like one little bit of our relationship. But, when it came to movies specifically, look, I went through the effort of gathering so many movies to put in a list together on Letterboxd, and every single time we would go to want to watch a movie together, which was just about every Sunday, we would watch a movie together. I would pull up the list that I made. It has 80-something movies on it, and I would have her pick out of all these movies that I put together. Some were her suggestions, most of them were my pulling movies that I thought were interesting for us to watch together. Most of the movies that we watched were bad, and she hated that. She did not like a lot of the bad movies we watched, which I thought was bizarre. She said it was burning her out from watching bad movies. I like watching bad movies because I can entertain myself endlessly with a bad movie by just making little jokes, poking at the plot, you know, like stuff like that to entertain me throughout. If it's especially egregious, then I'll just turn it off and not watch it again. But, like, I don't know, like, some of the first movies we watched together were bad, like, unintentionally bad movies, like, so bad they're good movies. We watched, like, Troll 2 together, and, like, a few others. I am still upset she hates Neil Breen, because I love Neil Breen's movies. They're so bad, but I love them regardless. Watching bad movies with friends can be some of the most fun you can have as a human being, yeah. And so, like, the fact that she wanted to watch nothing but good movies all the time, Neil Breen, they'll go every year. I know, I showed her Fateful Findings and she hated it. She hated that movie and I never wanted to watch another Neil Breen movie ever again. I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? You don't want to watch this stupid old man run around with paid actors and scantily clad women? Yeah, it just, like, I don't know. The fact that she wanted to watch only good movies all the time. And I would show her critically acclaimed movies and she didn't like them. I showed her Synecdoche, New York, and she hated it. Like, the only time we were ever on the same level, same plane of enjoying a movie together and even, like, talking about it in depth afterward was Doubt. She didn't like the David Lynch movies I showed her. The only one she liked was Mulholland Drive, and that was only because it was gay. And that's another gripe that I had with us watching movies together, is because she only really wanted to watch movies with gay things in it. Which, like, sure. It's fun to watch movies with gay rep in it, but oh my god, dude, like, most gay movies that exist are boring, and I hate them, unfortunately. Like, I Saw the TV Glow is the exception. I liked I Saw the TV Glow, but, like, most queer films are just, like, too fluffy and light. I need the angst, or I will die. I need the thrill of the queer bait again. You know what I mean? I've said it before, but David Lynch is like if Neil Breen was a competent filmmaker and genuinely, yeah. See, hating Synecdoche is crazy to me, yeah. I Saw the TV Glow is one of my favorite movies ever of all time, yeah. She also really didn't have much to contribute to discussion afterwards, because if you know me, you know that I love to discuss movies pretty in depth. I will talk about the actors and their performances. I will talk about the set design. I will talk about the cinematography, the score. I will talk about the whole ensemble of a movie because I love talking about the intricate details. That's something I love to do, and it's something that I like to share with people, especially those who also love movies like I do. So I like having productive discussions about movies and talking about what we like and dislike about it. I like to be on a similar plane when it comes to that kind of discussion, but the thing with her and I, when it came to discussing movies, was she would contribute 1 or 2 words occasionally and not really engage with me in the same way that I was trying to engage with her. So it really just led to petering off, falling off, and not really, it just led to a lack of engagement, and I didn't like it because she wouldn't engage with me specifically when it came to movies in the level that I was engaging with it. She would talk about it as best as she could, but most of the time she was just like 1 or 2 answers, like 1 or 2 words. Most of it was like, okay, and I was just like, okay, can we have a civil discussion about this movie? Like, it just led to me not wanting to have a discussion afterward. And I was doing most of the talking most of the time, and I didn't like it. So, like, it just kind of, I don't know, pushed me away from wanting to talk more about movies with her. So, like, I guess that's why I info dump so much about movies on stream, is just because, like, I didn't have any other outlet for people, like, to talk about movies with people with, because she was my world most of the time. She and I were she was the only person in my orbit, because I lost everybody, and it was just me and her for literally, like, 2 years, up until just recently. So, I was isolated. It was just me and her. And so, yeah, like, God. There is so much I could say about the state of our relationship after a while and why it inevitably led to it falling apart like it did. But I will not talk about those things. That's too personal. And I've been personal on stream in the past, but this is just one thing that I will not talk about. The closest I'm getting is talking to you guys about how we engaged with movies together. Like, she also just really wanted to, like, she preferred the medium of animation over, like, live action a lot of the time. Which is fine and fair. I like animated movies too, but I don't like watching them all the time. Like, there's some movies I think are better animated than they are live action, and vice versa. But I don't know. Most of the movies that she wanted to watch that were animated were like kids' movies. And I'm just not in that space to want to do that anymore. I cringe watching back stuff that was animated for kids unless it's something very specific that I feel I could rewatch again. Yeah, I don't know, sorry. it just, after a certain while, it was just not fun watching movies with her. I lost the joy of it after a while. And I would just do it as a means to bond with her. And then after a while, I just, like, lost even that. I didn't feel connected to her after a while. So, well, now we're parted and I can do whatever, and I feel so much better about it. There's so many movies I've watched now that I'm happy that I could just gush about, and I get responses back that I like, that aren't one-word responses. So, I Saw the TV Glow has, like, so many exact lived experiences. It's crazy. It feels like it was made specifically for me, even though it obviously wasn't. I just connect with it so intensely. That's so incredibly fair. The best kid movies I've seen in recent memory were the new Wallace and Gromit. Oh, I've been meaning to watch. I keep forgetting that a Wallace and Gromit movie came out recently, and I need to watch it. God, I don't know. I'm weirdly paranoid whenever I bring up June, because I don't know if I discussed it on stream or not, but it's been a few months now. I guess I can. I'm gonna love with you. I fucking love Wallace and Gromit. I love Wallace and Gromit too. I love Wallace and Gromit. I watched Curse of the Were-Rabbit like a bunch of times. I need to watch actual, like, Wallace and Gromit, the movies that came before it. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. I'm so paranoid talking about June as a whole because she was stalking me for a little while there. Stalking my socials not long after we broke up. Even, like, she was on the YouTube and also on the on my other socials. The main one that I use, Tumblr. I had to block her from, like, a couple of my accounts because I didn't like the fact that I knew she was stalking me a little bit. You know, I woke up one day to a message from a group chat we were in with her friends. That was not pleasant, and it was kind of in addition to all the things that she had said to me the night we broke up. And, you know, she left that comment on my last YouTube VOD, which kind of forced me to have to take a break for my mental health. So, there's just it's just hard. I feel like she doesn't care anymore and she's moved on and has made her own peace, but there's still just, like, a nagging feeling in the back of my head that she might be keeping tabs on me and keeping tabs on whether or not what I say about her is, like, good or not, because I, you know, it might incentivize my audience to go after her, which, by the way, just a casual reminder, do not fucking go and harass my ex. Do not go and harass June. I've said this multiple times before. If you are found to be harassing her in one way or another, contacting her at all, you will get permanently blocked from this channel, and you are not welcome back. Done is done. No, you are not welcome to do that. You were never allowed to do that. I do not encourage it whatsoever, and I have never encouraged it from the beginning, and I made that very clear when I announced that we broke up. So do not go and do that. Please. Thank you. Just a friendly reminder. Not so friendly reminder. Okay. I had a particular ex who I blocked on everything who went through insane methods to contact me. I know that paranoia well. Well, it's also just because I've had an ex too who faked their death and then came back as a whole different person to stalk me because they were still obsessed with me and wanted to get back together with me, and would regularly contact me pretending to be this different person until I figured out who they were and confronted them about it, and then they confessed that they wanted to get back together with me very drunkenly one day, and I had to say no because it was fucking insane. So yeah, I know this very particular type of stalking well. I'm a very paranoid person by nature, when it comes to being online as well as in person, I have had an IRL stalker before when I was very young. So, like, there is just an intense nagging fear that I need to watch my mouth, because I'm afraid that she's gonna come to me and be like, what the fuck, what are you talking about me for? Like, I know that's not in her nature particularly to do that, and I'm sure that she doesn't give a fuck, and that she's doing whatever, but, I don't know, there's just like a nagging fear in the back of my head that she'll come after me. I don't know. Like, it was just so intense in the days after we broke up. Like, I just completely I never answered her whenever she, was trying to contact me in the aftermath. I didn't feel comfortable talking to her, especially after all she said to me. And those in the know what she said to me after we broke up. Took me a long time to be comfortable being in public spaces after all that business. Yeah. I mean, God, like, I was, that ex that faked their death, I was 16, and I didn't really come back to the public afterward until now. For that reason, but also, you know, for other various reasons. I was in high school, I was dealing with terrible mental health problems, so numerous reasons. But now it's just like, I'm a public figure, and I have a big-ish audience, big for who I am, and I'm trying to wield my audience responsibly so that they don't harass her again, because, you know, the first she claimed that they were harassing her that first time, and I don't want it to happen again. Although she also didn't provide me any screenshots because she deleted them because she didn't want to bother me about it, but I don't know, that's not up to me to judge or whatever. I don't know. I don't want to talk about her much anymore. I don't like dwelling on the past too much, even though I have a habit of doing that all the fucking time. And plus, like I said, there is so much more I could say that would be, like, I don't know. If she comes after you, it'd be unwarranted, and you've been very consistent in telling people not to harass anyone. Nearly every stream, you're doing the best you can. I know. She still has my number, I'm fairly certain. I don't have her blocked on my phone. So if she texts me one day out of the blue and is like, what the fuck did you say this shit about me? I'll be like, bud, like, I was just talking, and I told people not to go and harass you. I know that can, like, Streisand effect and cause it. Like, ultimately, yeah, I don't want people fucking harassing her. And the reason I even bring up anything to do with her in the first place is not to bitch or whatever. I've done all my bitching already. But, like, I just bring it up as, like, just talk about it. This isn't me having a gripe or whatever. This is just me bringing up a thing that happened in the past. And I tend to do that, and people think I'm griping and bitching and moaning. And it's like, no, I've already bitched and moaned enough about this whole situation. So, in private, to people I'm close with, Leah, I think you got the brunt of it, when it was happening. And you were very, very sweet and very kind, and were very open to listening to me. I did make sure you were open to wanting to hear about it first, I think. But I do appreciate you for being there that day, as well as all the other people who were there in the aftermath of that whole fucking situation. Christ, that day was crazy. But, you know, life goes on. Yes, of course. You're a good friend. Thank you, Leah. You're a great person. I appreciate you being in my life. Love you. Life moves on, and I can't really let it... I mean, I'm fine. I'm not upset. I did all my grieving back in January, February. I'm fine now. I've moved on. I'm happier. Appreciate you, Quartz. I appreciate you too. You're a great friend, and I'm glad to have to know you. You're a great person and a great moderator. Talk to you forever. You're wonderful. I never get sick of you. And I've been doing my best to move on and make waves and be my own person. Because I think the thing that I was struggling with the most when it came to being with June was like a loss of my own identity as a person. Because like I already was struggling to figure out who I was in the aftermath of losing some people who are really important to me as friends that are no longer my friends anymore. And trying to figure out who I was, because I linked my own identity with that one person for 15 years, so I was trying to figure out who I was. And she was there in those 2 years we were together. She was there, and I built my identity to link to her. So, like, if anyone thought of me, they also thought of her, because I would habitually bring her up and be like, oh, we are like a package deal. And now that I'm away from her, and I, for the longest time, didn't believe I could be away from her, now, in the aftermath, oh God, how many months has it been? February, March, April, May, like 4 or 5 months now. I know who I am. I am me. I am Quartz. I am queer, nondescript, queer, poly. I'm me. I love horror. I love talking about movies. I love reading. I love writing. I love drawing. I love to make people in my life smile whenever I can. I care about a lot of people. I have a lot of love to give. And I don't want people to take advantage of that. And I don't want people to take that away from me. And I will do whatever I can to keep that part of me. You seem so much more comfortable with yourself, if you don't mind me saying. I know. Yeah, I don't mind that whatsoever. A lot of people have been saying that recently. Like, oh, you're so much more comfortable with who you are. You're not so insecure anymore. I think it was Leo was saying the other day that I seem much more comfortable and confident in myself. He's been rubbing off on me a lot lately. These past few months I've known him. And it's like, yeah, I'm a lot better than I was. I'm a lot better than where I was even fucking like 2 years ago when I was still with her. I am working I'm working to be myself, and it's like a lifelong process to get myself to who I am, but I am happy nonetheless. Shit sucks right now, but this is only temporary. Long term, I feel great. I'm happy. I love everything I do. Occasionally, I wish my brain was back to where it was a couple months ago. That'd be great if I wasn't in a brain fog all the time. But, you know, I mean, I'm happy. I love being me. I love being unapologetically me. And I love doing these streams. And I love helping people when I can. I mean, God, that person that just came through stream wanting advice about what to do with the relationship. Wish all the best for that person, by the way. I hope that they succeed in their new relationship, in this new chapter of their life going forward. I just want to do what I can while I'm here on Earth, and I think that was something that I've always wanted to do, but I just never really truly embraced it. I've never really truly embraced me. I've embraced the idea of me, but now I am embracing the core of who I am, and I love me. And I wouldn't have been saying that stuff a long time ago. I wouldn't have been saying that even fucking back in January. I would have been like, oh, I hate myself, I am ugly, blah, blah, blah. And, like, I still have some self-esteem issues, but, like, I love me. I love who I am. I love where things are going. And maybe, I mean, I still gotta work on loving myself and my face, but I love the people in my life. I love where things are going with my life, even if they are uncertain in this moment job-wise. But yeah, I'm kind of talking in a circle, sorry, but I'm just happy. I'm happier than where I was, and I think what helps is I'm choosing happiness. I'm choosing happiness for myself for the first time in a long time, instead of letting happiness dissipate. Or just like I'm chasing it perpetually in people that are only going to hurt me. You know? These people were not a match for me and ended up hurting me in ways that are irreversible to a certain extent, but now that I'm 25, I'm just gonna keep going and be happy and not let others fuck me up. So yeah, I can only hope that happiness pushes me forward and pushes everyone else forward as a result. I'm still stuck in the self-hatred spiral. One day I will get to be who I want to be, and I believe that you will get there one day. I believe it. You're a very forward-thinking person. You're very perseverant, as far as I understand of you. I believe you'll make it. You'll do it. And you will persevere, and you will be who you want to be one day. It'll take a lot of work and a lot of pain, but you'll get there. I believe it. And I'm always there to support you every step of the way. I will do what I possibly can to help you, my friend. Because, listen, you've been there for me. It's only fair that I'm there for you. Because you're my friend, and I love you, and I care about you. And I want to be sure that you're okay at the end of the day. It's just, this stream is just, the Zen part about is just me and Leah talking to each other. Sorry to all the other people who are watching the VOD and are like, who the fuck is Quartz talking to? I'm talking to Leah, my good friend Leah, in chat. My good friend, my best friend. You are one of my best friends, I guess I can say that. Ah, okay. Is there anything else I possibly could want to talk about? There's not really much going on with me currently. I mean, I've just been watching scam baiting videos. I did recently just get into watching BookTube again for the first time in a while. I haven't touched wrestling in a bit, and I should. I need to get back on to watching that again. I just haven't had the mental energy to. And yeah, I'm just hanging around. Sometimes streams just evolve into me and you talking. LOL, that's some of that's my bad. Dude, never apologize for that. I love just talking to you sometimes through stream. It's great. We have such productive conversations sometimes. I feel like I'm just sitting down with an old friend and we're just catching up. Like, it's the end of the week. How have you been? How's work going? Have you seen any new movies recently? And then we just get into it. We have a routine and it's great and it's fun and I like it. Just wish we could do that more in DMs. We will get there eventually. By Jove, I will make it happen one way or another. I'll try to think of something. I'm very bad at catching up with people, but even if we don't talk every day, you are still my friend. Okay. I think that's gonna be all for me. Next week, hopefully, emphasis on hopefully. It might not happen. I don't know how up to it I'm feeling currently. We'll try to get to episode 3 of Life is Strange and finish out Life is Strange as a whole, and then we're going to... I'll probably play some games from the... It's been a pleasure, as always, of course. I'll probably play some games from the Crypts for eSims for Palestine bundle from itch.io, play a couple games from that. Baba Is You was in that bundle, and I finally have Baba Is You, and I have been desperate to play Baba Is You for, like, years now. I've had it on my Steam wishlist forever, and now I finally have a version of it to play. Oh my god, I'm so excited to play Baba Is You. Oh my god. Yeah, we might play some games from that, and then from there, I don't know, we'll have to see. More Voices in the Void at some point. I think it would be great fun. Oh my god, yeah. You know what, Eva? Yeah, no, the Palestine bundle will come first. I think after that we can do some Voices of the Void. I miss playing Voices of the Void. I think about it so much. I have not even played it in my free time whatsoever. I just left it to rot after after this like past while. We'll get back to it. That's gonna be a staple of the channel now, is me playing Voices of the Void. I fucking love that game. Or it'll be unstable until I get bored of it. Bored? No, I get bored of it. But anyway. Enough of me rambling. I could go on rambling forever, but it's late. My throat is sore, and I would like to go to bed. So, thank you all so much for attending stream tonight. Make sure you get something to eat if you haven't eaten anything yet. Make sure you get something to drink if you haven't drank anything yet. If you have medication you need to take, go take your medication now. It's better to take it late than never, as I always say. If you are currently in school and you have homework to do or a test to study for, please do that now. It's better to do it late than never, as I always say. Make sure you pet your pets, water your plants, take a shower if you haven't yet, brush your hair, brush your teeth, do what you need to do to take care of yourselves. Just know that I love you and I care about you, and there are people in your life that love and care about you as well. And I will see you guys next time. Bye. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. Bye. I will catch you all later. Bye.